we're talking a lot of EX8 and not a lot of
Yeah.
charts and graphs.
Yeah, let's get to the meat and potatoes, boys.
This is gonna take some time, so we need as much time as we possibly need. We've already
We got our good intro. Thanks for everybody for being here. Make sure you remember to follow the Twitch and like on YouTube and subscribe to the YouTube and all the good stuff while we do all this, because this is gonna be, we're gonna lock in here. And if you want us to see what's going on, you're gonna have to let us know. Because if we're gonna miss something, it's gonna turn into an argument rather than a stats-based decision-making stream. You know how these go.
Yeah.
You guys, hey, statistically speaking, more of you guys saw the Jambo BT17 tier list than almost any other episode we did last year. So
yeah,
we had to bring the kid back for a couple more inflammatory takes.
So also as a reminder, if you're watching on YouTube and you do have Twitch and you do have a Twitch Prime that you don't think you've used this month, I would always appreciate putting it towards the channel. It's a free way to support us. But also, whilst you're on YouTube, like the stream. We'll see if we can get it onto the front page. But yeah, we've got all of our tier list. As always, we're going with very, very real numbers that are really important. So that way, you know that our tier list is definitely different to everyone else's. So we've broken it down into 5 topics as always. They range from format defining, strong picks, viable options. We got rogue, brackets, uphill battle. And then we have funny but doggy because, you know, not every deck is a winner out there. And some of these decks are meant for the low power week that you use to try and introduce people to each format.
Some of these decks are doggy but funny. That's the problem. Those ones won't even make the cut. We'll just be going past those.
We're just ignoring them.
So we're not going to do everything that's on here because we do value your time. We're trying to not make this a 3-hour episode. No promises, but we do have some other things that we did say we would try and cover. So
here we go. Oh my God. You ever look at something that you know you've got to do for work and you're like, God, I don't want to.
My thing is, I appreciate the people that make the tier lists, but for the love of God, stop using alt arts. It makes it like unrecognizable sometimes. Like I'm looking at this and this is just like a splash of like colorful pixels.
Yeah.
Like just use the regular arts, okay? Nobody cares if you know the tier list just has the regular arts.
Regulars. Some of them are regulars. Like
yeah,
the Apocalymon has been bothering me the whole time.
Or yeah, it's like either do all. Actually, don't even do all alt arts. Just do all regular arts. Like
and anyway, the Gallantmon. What the heck?
We appreciate the tier list maker people.
Right. So do we just want to start at like skip?
We can start at the top and then like.
Yeah, I think we just start picking lists. I believe that is supposed to be like black hybrid control, like mother, like that's like
mother's here.
Yeah,
okay,
that's mother's. Sorry, is that not Mother D Reaper? Like, is that not what they expect that to be? Because like you know that card got a new card in Japan and BT.
Oh, what like Jerry? Yeah, okay,
like,
you know what?
I think
Mother
that's actually D Reaper.
Okay, however, I don't think D Reaper is like actually relevant, so we can just use Mother as
it's
like.
Also not relevant for us in the West because we don't have the D Reaper zone, which is like the payout card right now.
We should just use it as like the Shoto Mother cores.
Yeah. So, wait, is this
Black Hybriding?
Is this 3 Great Angels or Black Hybrid?
I believe that's
Black
Hybrid. Domini's on the second row.
Oh yeah, Domini's over here. Okay. Yeah.
So just
I think that's
ignore
like Black
the
Hybrid Mother Shoto.
Ignore Black Hybrid Mother Shoto. That
I think it's a viable option. I think like a Mother Shoto deck is like good.
I was gonna say we can just talk about like Mother Shoto. Like we can do all of them.
Yeah, sure. So where do we want to use that? Just as the D Reaper card?
Yeah, it would be like the D Reaper card. So we can start with like ancient. We can start with like ancient Greymon.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Hybrid.
I think it's a viable option. How do you boys feel?
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of purple right now, and it's good at hitting purple security, but it doesn't really like playing against like all the blue decks all the time.
Yep.
Good thing blue decks are slightly trending down.
I think this is one of those decks that a lot of people have like protag syndrome for. A lot of people want to put on their goggles and punch the opponent and be like, I'm Takuya. And then like 2 guys, maybe 1 guy like actually does something. And I'm going to tell you now, it's not for better sequencing or better matchup or like better matchup understanding. It's just that guy high rolled more than the other guys.
Yeah, your opponent accidentally interacted with your security and out pops Memory Setter Takuya, GG's Shake My Hand, or Atomic Inferno on your rookie hitting security. Like, it feels like the deck that is consistent enough that you can like crack a top 64. There will be a bunch of them in top 64, and maybe one will day 2, because the rest, like, you know, there's only so many times you can play a deck where the expected game plan is Olivia dies to the sun. Check security. Oh, I'm taking 3 damage now. Whoops. Like, there's only so many times that can happen.
I agree with you. I think like the deck is incredibly powerful, but I think its ceiling is like really limited because it's a red deck that is not flexible.
I think
Like,
it's really it's going to be entirely down to the ban list. I think once we see what makes it out the other side, if hybrids once again skirt the radar, this jumps up like massive. I just think if you hit Levia, you hit Mirage.
The things it's hunting down are ban list targets. Like the reasons you would play this deck are to beat your Takamikas and purple hybrids.
And like your Mirages.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. I think this deck gets its pack smoked by Mirage.
Yeah, I was going to say,
like,
I
think
Mirage.
The problem with this deck in long run events is that you continuously have to gamble your odds on, oh, God, I hope I don't see blue. And it really is that easy. Like, the deck is just like, if you hit nothing but purple all day, you feel like $1 million. And when you don't, you go home crying. And, like, that's the depth. Like, it's not like it's less flexible than like the other good decks that are going to go in this list, but it has components to like its game plan that you can do, like picking up the cards from trash, and like certain orders can help you facilitate different kinds of lines and help like make special considerations in certain matchups. Piercing Flamemon coming in and out of the format. How many of different Takuyas are you playing? Like, it does legitimately kind of have some toolbox stuff. It now also has the like Rush Gigasmon from what's it called?
Whoa,
BT19.
we just
Whoa, big money.
Live reaction. Big money.
The people, they've spoken. They love Ancient Greymon, guys. But yeah, that's where I feel like the deck is at right now. I don't think I think after a ban list it could be really good because it's good on its own. But it's really good right now because it beats purple.
Shoutouts to Glamriel for the 5 gifted.
Damn, is that how you pronounce that name?
That was an awesome take on that.
Yeah, that was a
I'm looking at it on my second screen, and my second screen is a little bit fuzzy. So all the words are blending in together.
You should get your eyes tested. Card game players, for the new year, get your hearing and eyes tested at your local doctor's appointment. Support your local.
All right. Speaking of eyes tested, every time that Apocalymon gets into the format, I feel like I do have to rub my eyes, check and see if like Balfi has been like in the local news or something. What do we think of Apoc and like what?
Okay, are we putting it in the purple hybrid engine? Or are we playing it mono?
No, this is not a POC purple hybrid. I think we just talk about that as part of purple hybrid. This feels like it's supposed to be Dark Master's good stuff.
This is dog shit.
Yeah, this is at best
dog shit.
No. Okay, I usually don't like to like shit on like a bunch of random decks. However, in a post EX8 world, Medieval Gallantmon is a card that like facilitates exactly it facilitates exactly this kind of deck. Like, I would say that it's at the very best like rogue, because like this deck can win. Like, this deck will win if you don't understand like its gameplay loop.
Yeah,
I wouldn't put it like a terrible deck.
I don't think it's terrible. I think it's just terrible as things that don't make the cut, right? This like Medieval Gallant helps this. It would be really cool if you could evolve over those level, like if all the 5s were, maybe there were red 5s, you know what I mean?
They have green 5s.
Yeah, you get 1 green level 5.
That could be one.
But that's better than nothing. Like,
no, I agree. So I think Rogue might be kind of kind.
Yeah,
but I'm willing to roll with it. We can't argue that much over Apocalymon. Marcio believes in it a little bit.
I was gonna actually say, like, what do we actually think is the best engine for APOC? Is it still purple hybrid?
Purple hybrid.
One of APOC and one of each Dark Master in purple hybrid. It is objectively the best way to play.
You get access to mat, which looks meant, which means you get to loop at APOC.
Yep.
You don't. It's like 6 cards, and you get to just play a card that says "win the game" when it's summoned.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's bad.
It's that good.
In a beat down purple deck, like.
I think the deck is good, but it's going to be a deck that's like, it's always going to be like extremely underrepresented, and it'll never have like amazing finishes unless you're using it like as an engine for something else.
Yeah, the next wave of Apocalymon Dark Masters support might dig it out of the trash, but like it's gonna be a while.
Magnamon
you mean you didn't like
armors.
Mephistomon?
I think Magnamon armor is a minimum strong pick,
Yeah.
but I think it might be better and might be format defining.
I think it's
going
the
forward,
worst tier 1 deck right now.
Yeah, I think it's the worst tier 1.
Yeah,
deck
I
for
like
sure.
that. I think
Is it better than Ancient Gray though?
Yeah, by a lot.
Yes.
Yeah, like at least a full tier better than Ancient Gray.
I wouldn't say it's format defining. I would say it's a strong pick. I would
It's a strong pick.
It's at the
not
top of
format
strong pick or
defining.
worst of format defining.
I think it's the
Top of
worst
strong. It's
top
top of
tier
strong.
deck.
I think there are better strong pick decks. I don't think the deck is like that. I think there are decks that are like a lot better for the format. I think it's like a gatekeeper.
Yeah, we'll go through some of these as they go, but I definitely want to reiterate, like Andrew said it off the rip, and I think that is my actual top and bottom full thoughts on Magna X. It's the best top tier deck it's the worst top tier deck in the game.
I think things like the Durandamon are a really cool innovation that we'll continue to see play now. I think that helps its case a lot, but I mean, waiting room deck.
My thing is, right, like, it has a bad purple hybrid matchup. It has a bad Gallant matchup.
The Gallant matchup is weird. I don't necessarily think it's that
not bad. It's not a bad matchup till
Gallantmon
end of February.
Yeah.
Which we're not talking about end of February. We're talking about now.
Wait, we're talking. This is EX8 context.
Yeah, because we're missing the.
What
Gallant
does Gallant do?
Gallant is really good right now.
But what does Gallant do into an invincible Magna X right now?
It punches it.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't have raids.
Okay, but like, it's not always going to be upright.
Yes, it is. That's crazy.
If you know the matchup, you're going to be staying upright. You're going to be checking for one and unsuspending every turn.
And you don't think that, like, so you're as the Magna player are okay to just like get your whole security wiped out by Gallant?
Well, it's not gonna get wiped out because I'm immune. So I'll just take a block.
But they're bigger than you if you block.
You have armor purge.
I have purge. Immunity to every single card in the game, and plus 3K.
Okay. I don't think the deck is all that.
I'll just make him again.
Thus far the OCE and LATAM players do not agree because this deck converted twice in top 16.
Gallant's still like objectively better than Magna right now.
Okay,
the matchup is not as bad as people think it is.
Magna converted in the top 16, but it's at the bottom 3 spots, and then there's 2 Gallants. There's one.
You are moving your own goalposts. You're moving your goalposts, Mauricio.
You were like, oh no, it top 16 twice. So did Gallant, and Gallant got better finishes.
Yeah. But we didn't say it was better than Gallant. You said, oh, it doesn't lose to Gallant. You are moving the goalposts right now.
We're talking about the specific matchup here, mate. We're not talking about overall results.
I'm saying Gallant is a better deck than
no, you're not.
Armor.
We're not. That wasn't what you were saying.
What I said.
That wasn't what we were saying.
That's not what you said at all.
Yeah, you said it loses to Gallant, and that's a reason that it can't be in format defining.
Losing to Gallant means that Gallant is I'm saying in the context of like Gallant is a better deck.
Yeah,
that's not what you said.
Can I walk away?
Yeah.
I'm gonna.
All right, so we skip in Hunters, Barra. Okay, Barra. It's a new deck. We can't skip.
We're not talking about this.
It's a new deck for EX8. You can't skip a new deck.
Put it in funny but shit.
Bill Star. I actually don't. What do we think of the new Bill Star?
No, I don't think.
It's not good enough yet. It's missing another
Come
wave.
on, man.
It needs another wave.
I would even put it on the tier list.
It's new identity.
Bad fake security control that like this deck has a truly unplayable Mother Shadow matchup. It makes me laugh every time. I don't know, man. I actually agree with Marcio. I think you should take it off the tier list.
I'm just like,
Bills is always an interesting one. Like right now.
No,
it's interesting.
If your name isn't Quan, don't touch it, bro.
Yeah.
Belfer was skipping.
Greymon, not entertaining. Blackwater Greymon.
No.
Johnny exists.
I actually.
Johnny's the outlier.
No. Actually, we do have to talk about this. It did well in Manila. Like it actually, it did well in the EX8.
Yes.
I
think it has enough good tools to at least be like Rogue. I don't think it'll ever be viable again.
Yeah, I fully agree.
It'll be like forever like a Rogue pick, where like it will continuously take whatever good green pieces exist. So like right now you have like Unaffected Gale, you have Cherubi, and you have like Medieval to like complement your Bloomlord top end. But
it's it also isn't happy that Gallantmon is good.
Yeah, that's like the main thing. It's like it's like you have to. There are ways to like go about it, but a lot of the times it's more like for the Bloom player to like lose than for the Gallant player to win.
Yep.
Like you put two average players like in that matchup, it's like, well, Gallant will win like 6 times out of 10, or like 7 times out of 10, or whatever.
We probably skip Blue Flare until 2.5.
Oh, okay. I was actually gonna say, I don't know if you're aware. Blue Flare, I think, is actually about as good as Rogue here. I think it has this very specific set of things it does, where it interacts kind of favorably into just about every go wide deck in the format. And there are now, like, I think we kind of get to the point in Digimon where it's like some things just come in and out in waves of like, if go wide is ever good enough, you have to at least remember Blazing Memory Boost exists. I don't think this deck is good.
Go wide though?
We're more in go wide than we were in 2.0 Special Booster.
My thing with like Blue Flare is that it gets countered by Medieval on the spot.
Yeah,
like
I definitely agree with that. I don't think the card's good.
That deck cannot exist as long as Medieval is good.
Yep.
And it doesn't play through aces. It doesn't matter if the opponent has a wide board, because the deck cannot play through aces. Like any wide deck is banking on the idea that like I'm going to have multiple ace points, and Blue Flare can't beat that. So the deck just can't be viable or like even a rogue pick.
It is also missing.
Well, I think purely off of the basis of the things that are new in the format that are people are playing. I think it, like, just by the fact that it beats the field decks like Deep Savers and Nature Spirits and Nightmare Soldiers, because they all kind of go wide. Like, I think this does exist in a means that can interact with them in ways that would stop them.
It doesn't beat Deep Savers though. It just makes them unaffected. But
they become affected again when it's time to swing.
True, you're not untargetable, and then it's freeze until the end of your turn. So in theory, you hit it. Oh, but the on plays are turned off.
The on plays are turned off.
Oh, if you play until the on plays, you're cooked. I don't.
Like that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but like you have to.
Don't do that. That's not gonna work.
No,
yeah, but what do you
rush.
do? It's
you don't. Hey, I hate to tell you this. You don't digicross for full cost reduction. You keep your on play.
No, but you don't get on.
Oh.
But I'm gonna say.
But then they're unaffected.
Yeah, but they become affected when they go to hit you.
No, like
are Deep Savers rogue? Is that what you just said?
Yes, Deep Savers are rogue.
I agree with you. I agree with that. I think they're.
I would say
Deep better than that, but I think that's the floor.
I would say the Deep Savers is like as viable as like Ancient Greymon, if not better.
Yeah.
The combo, each combo wins the game, and it's like incredibly floodgatey. Like it has.
Yeah, Aegis is so good at beating some of the stuff in the format right now.
It's less flexible in its combo, but its combo is like incredibly powerful. Like
you've watched too many Tommy VODs.
No, I've played the deck myself and I've tested it myself. There are any Mega Zoo deck that cannot exist if Aegis is around. It does lose. It has bad matchups.
Yeah.
Like I'm not gonna bullshit.
Demon Lords can't play through that at all.
Like Demon Lords like gets like checked by it. That's like a ton of other stuff, but like it has bad matchups. Like Gallant can be a bit awkward. Purple Hybrid can be awkward to an extent, but like the deck is like insanely powerful. It's like as good as Fish like has ever been. Like I'm not bullshitting.
I hate Fish. I wish they'd switch some of these archetypes up again.
It's like by far the best like Fish deck.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think I would be willing to humor you, Jambo, and say it's Rogue, but I think Rogue is as far down I'd ever let it go, because I think it's just like the things it does are response. Like they do things to the format that like the good decks don't want to play through, and they're floodgating in a way that like that you can't just out by floodgate popping, which is really strong right now, I think.
It's another deck that facilitates a need for like heavy option removal, like your Tyrants and your like Fang Longs, where it's like if you weren't ready, okay for you, back to the drawing board.
Aaru I don't think is as good as its red cousin. I think it's probably Rogue. I think the things it does do are good against a couple of fringe cases, like beating all blocker decks is really choice, but like it's
there are
like,
better.
You don't have. Yeah, exactly. There are other decks that beat the blocker decks, and this one is heavily ceilinged by like what it can do, because they hit like the Matt Gabubon stuff, they hit all the like the fly or what's it called, the hammer spark stuff. Like this could have been something, and I think it is.
It was a victim of the ban list. Like it was a deck that was like using all of the like broken things that are now on a ban list, like hammer sparks, promo ukos, Louis, like things like that. And like without those,
would this technically instead be the blue turn skip? Because I feel like that's the only viable version of this deck now.
I think we still have to rank it as Aaru because like Koichi hybrid, or sorry, not Koichi hybrid. What's his name? What's the blue tamer? No, not Homer. The actual blue kid from Frontiers. Koji. Like, I think this is supposed to be Koji hybrid, but like
yeah, I guess it was
Koji hybrid is.
I was kind of thinking of it kind of like APOC, where it's like, do we try and pick it on its best version of the deck? Because like if you're not gonna play Koji at all, and the only time you're resolving Aaru is to turn skip someone for 7 turns in a row. But like, is that a Mirage deck or is that a Aaru deck?
Yeah, that's a Mirage.
That is a pile 50 boy cards that specifically make the So and Kaio Soma Homer combo. That is it.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah.
Also, the thing with Aaru is that it's like ceiling is incredibly like small. Like it does like one thing
anymore.
Yeah. I don't know.
We haven't talked about this. Are we?
You can put it in.
Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say you can put it in Rogue if you'd like.
I think it's about as good as Apocalymon. If I'm honest with you guys, I don't necessarily think it's as good as Bloom, but I think that might be maybe because Bloom, once that tier list fills out, Bloom will look more separated from those cards.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
We'll get to that. We haven't talked about this. This tier list will encompass the current January store promos, right? So like the new and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. Sendrimon's kind of something. This deck's kind of sick. This deck's kind of sick. I think low-key might be kind of a viable option. I think you could aggro some people with this deck.
I'm willing to entertain the idea that it is a viable option if you wanted to like one trick and put all of your resources into playing Sendril.
Yeah, because there are going to be Arisa super stands, right?
I think like the deck has, there are enough good cards in the deck, and like, it can beat a lot of like things that you'd think would check it, like floodgates, like can't play by effect floodgates. Like that deck has outs to it, but I think because you need like some promos to like really like maximize like the deck, the average like player that would want to play just doesn't have access to this promos, and as a result, like we don't really see people playing it, and it also doesn't have the bestest matchup into like the top tiers. It's really good at beating like literally everything below it, but then like some of the upper echelon of the competition, it gets kind of tough. But
yeah, I'll give you that. I don't think it's better than Ancient Greymon.
You think?
I think it's currently the lowest thing we've got in viable options.
Yeah.
But I think it's at least like when you imagine the concept of like the feeling in your head of like, oh, I'd take this to an event versus not taking it to an event. Like I have that comfort for Sendrimonn. I would not, like, if somebody told me they were playing Bloom at a regional right now, I'd be like, you've either figured something out or that's your favorite guy.
It's like with Sendril, it's like I feel like it's a deck that you'll consistently go like X1 at locals. Like you'll happily win like 3 rounds, but there's always going to be that one thing that your deck just cannot beat. Right? It's if it's like Imperial, or it could be like Tyrant, or it could be like Magna X. There's always going to be that one thing that's stopping you from getting like your 4-0 finish at locals.
For sure. I think the deck has like the sky is kind of the limit for where they take the deck going forward. I think like the package that they've given, like the new Shushumon is so good, y'all. It's so good. The new even just having another barrier inherit changes so much for this archetype. And like it's so consistent.
The thing that somebody pointed out to me, shoutouts to Seb Badridge Coombs or whatever his name is. King of Knights TCG. The thing that he pointed out that actually makes like a lot of sense is the fact that like because the promo makes the token and the token gets deleted at the end of the turn, it does like 2 really specific things. It means that like 1, if people try to floodgate you by like passing like a can play by effect rookie, at the end of the turn, the token pops itself, kills the rookie.
Yeah.
Also, what it does is that if you keep your Orisa that floats, you can then tap the Orisa, float into one of your Shumons, and then it unsuspends on your turn, so you have like a rush body at the end of the opponent's turn that they couldn't really interact with. So it always gives the deck like, it's almost like a not bad scramble, but it's like a pseudo scramble, right? But that's it. Like enough yakking about Sendril.
Yeah, I think we've given it its flowers. Do you guys have anything, Jambo? You have anything to say about Sendrillmon, or are you just like, God, get this slap off my face?
Can we get to the good stuff?
Yeah, I hear you. Machine is no. Machine is blue is good, so bye machine.
Melody
really
is
is
actually
that
the one I'm
binary.
kind of curious. Like, it does fake Jerry actually
I
give the
think
deck
it's
enough?
Oh wait,
Fireball.
is this not Shoto control?
We're calling
Yeah,
it
Shoto
Shoto
control.
control, right?
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
okay.
Yeah,
no,
you're right,
okay. This is
right.
a strong pick.
Shoto
right
control is a strong pick.
This
Yeah,
is
you're right.
100% a strong
Just
pick.
'cause it-
Medieval has bent this deck open.
Yeah, it's insane.
I think like it's like a true control deck in the sense that like once you're playing its game, it's really oppressive. But there are certain decks that will just like dunk on it like extremely quickly.
Mhm.
Like
Yeah.
there's some decks that like the deck just does not have. It has the true flaw of a control deck of like some things are just too fast for it.
Yeah.
Like purple hybrid, unironically like Dinomon. Like there's just some stuff that's just like no, I'm not lying.
No, you're not lying at all. You're like Dinomon does beat up these control decks. It's really funny though, because like this does something that SetCon never did. I don't know if you guys like can get behind me on this one.
An actual win
think
con.
It has an actual win con, and this deck gets to abuse security sackiness in the like when you play against SetCon, you assume every security you flip is the chaos deck in your head, right? You have to play around those things. When you check Mother Shoto, because you have to check Mother Shoto, because the decks that do 5 checks are not unblockable decks right now, you risk the Shoto check. And every time that happens, purple hybrid gets like, you have to clench up real tight and hope you're not about to get sacked, because it does that to these matchups. And like the format has become much more about like my incremental value of multiple damage being done over the turn. That like if you can't actually kill them off in one turn and then you give them the Shoto, you can lose the game on the spot. And like that's a dynamic that's much more like the other good regular non-control archetypes than we used to see in control decks. So they get a lot more value out of that. And like over a long day, that's the kind of stuff that makes your deck go from like, oh, like it's good for locals to like, oh, this can hang for an 8 or 9 round tournament. So I and like Marcy said, Medieval breaks this deck. But it's also like it's been tiptoeing. There's like different packages for it. Some people are still on black hybrid stuff. Some people are playing
better
like
black hybrids to play now as well. Like
Yeah.
Beetlemon
Yeah.
actually means you can just aggro people down and actually kind of play semi-traditional Digimon if the game plan of
Yep.
stall doesn't work.
Don't
real
get
ones.
confused. Just because it's a Motor Shoto deck, like it actually wants to swing for a game. Like
Yeah.
eventually the deck has inevitability. Like it will quartz you and like
Mhm.
swing and burn like 3 checks
Yep,
and then
totally
swing for a game.
agree.
Like the deck, like it's not like you can stall forever. Like either you're gonna get black hybrid beat down, or like it will be like quartz for game.
If you want my little tinfoil hat 2 cents here, I've been putting Jambo onto it this week because I got sent it by some folks. If you aren't aware of the Argomon mother control stuff, you should get into that. It's actually kind of sick, and it does have it beats the mirror, which is the big thing, and it beats a lot of the other like those SOC decks are not happy playing against it. So
Brunei Digimon goes crazy, I guess.
yeah, shout outs.
Right.
Yeah.
Dark Knight. I mean,
It's not there, man. I love those. I love the Lord Knight cards, but it's just not enough.
anyway.
No.
We
hate
don't
that
have to.
deck.
That's like mill loop, I guess. They're not
Nope,
using.
we don't
Lilith.
need to-
That's
Play
nothing.
purple hybrids. Thank you.
Yep.
Next.
Diabora. Okay, can I get on a thing for a second for Diaboromon?
Yeah, bro.
I think
Yeah.
Diaboromon low-key viable. I think Diaboromon does this thing in this format.
Viable.
Yeah, I think Diaboromon viable. I think
What has Johnny
enough
done
of-
to you?
I know, no, trust me. The problem with the format right now is that like we are at a critical mass of purple and blue, right? And as we've talked about in the back of every tier list and every set review we've done for the last half of the year, Digivolve is so good right now. It's never been better to have Digivolve. And this deck, like it still gets the like you get an auto win in beating Imperial with the Karamon Infirmon thing. Like that has never it will have that forever. But EX6 Diaboromon as a value engine to just like make enough stuff, Digivolve enough guys, and like take the game to a pace that you can control and win. red decks don't want to play through your infinitely protected blocker pile. It's not what they're after. The blue decks cannot bounce all of these dudes. It's not going to happen. Magnamon cannot block 70,000 guys.
It's not even that. It's the fact that they let you sack their whole security, and then you can never unsuspend to like 2-for-1 because you can't even pierce through the Diaboromon because they just go, okay.
The real kicker that I expect to see is that Diaboromon, as it has for a long time, exists basically on a seesaw with Crimson Blades. And when Gallantmon is good and people aren't playing the threshold cards, Crimson Blades gets worse. So I actually think we might be about to sneak into a Diaboromon little surprise show where it makes like a top 32, a top 16. I think it is viable.
I'm willing to entertain its viability, but I think the deck lacks like a like it has powerful cards, but it's like base, like how do I describe it? It's like core structure. It's missing like a few things. Like, yes, you have ways to play out the errata, but you're still dependent on the errata.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, you can like do all of these things, but more often than not, like sometimes you just don't. And it kind of struggles into medieval. You can de-digivolve everything, but what if there's nothing to de-digivolve and it's just a medieval? Like, how is Diaboro interacting with medieval?
Oh, wait,
Diaboro Ace pops it before it resolves its all turns.
Yeah, but they have to have Diaboromon Ace.
Diaboromon Ace will pop it before its all turns. And I know they have to have it, but I'm just saying, if we're talking about a deck that is like a go-wide deck that doesn't, or sorry, that a go-wide deck that has an inbuilt archetype answer to the best secret rare floodgate in the format that beats go-wide decks, I think it kind of tells you that it might have the tools to do it. I just think like a Diaboromon deck that goes on the run could do it. That's my 2 cents.
What I'm talking about is like a early-ish like medieval, because like I think like there are decks that will just like slam the medieval and whatever, but there are decks that will make it like as a temporary like level 6 to like prevent like the opponent from like developing their game plan. Like, assuming that the Diaboromon player is in an empty like board state, like with no tokens, no nothing, if they just evolve into like the Diaboromon Ace and they like play out a token and maybe they have like an errata to play out another token, is that enough tokens to like immediately contest the medieval? Because like, that is
you only need Diaboro Ace when the medieval is hard played. But like you said, if it's the temporary Ace, just like you send your first stack out, you use that to fight back, and then you make your actual game-winning stack on the second set, then in that situation, the Digivolves are enough to out it. Because you just
Digivolves are pretty good.
Like it's just the only go-wide deck that has an inbuilt response to medieval that also then gets the benefit of black Digivolve plus black protected blockers. I'm like,
my other thing is that you're feeding it, like you're feeding discounts to it. Like you're putting out a bunch of like tokens. And that's like, all right, okay, cool. I'll suspend both of them and like reduce my medieval to 7 play cost.
Yeah, but doesn't also like Diaboromon Ace is like when you play a Digimon, right? It gets to just play and crack back, right?
Play by effects.
Yeah.
By effects.
Right.
And then like
is
if it's turn player.
Turn player Cryo will kill off the Ace if you don't have the protection for it.
Yeah, you'd have to be more invested in like decoy Kurisari.
You're not winning into medieval decks, but so my point is that the Diaboromon as an archetype has enough stuff that you're doing.
Yes.
No, I agree.
Beats the decks it's already good at and has a searchable inbuilt named art. Like if you're playing Diaboromon.deck and you have a dude named Diaboromon that solves this problem, you feel like a millionaire.
Yes, I agree. My only thing with its viability is like, is the deck able to play through medieval?
Honestly,
if the deck can consistently play through medieval, then yeah, I think all the things that you're saying make sense. In practice, I need to see like that like novel like play
I'll take that as like we can put it like I think we put it above Bloom.
Yeah,
I think we put it above Bloom, and I'll sit there smug when it finally gets something.
It's the definition of brackets uphill battle. Like you are fighting an uphill battle.
This is the thing: is it just loses to that one floodgate. I'm like, that's because go wide decks lose to the floodgate. That's why medieval Gallantmon is good right now, because it's like the game got go wider again, and medieval came out and was really good for that. Diaboromon still has the things it does well to make it like threatening archetype. Right. And Digivolve is broken, guys.
Let's
you know what else is broken? DP minus.
DP minus.
Angels.
Moving on.
Hey, you gotta put the tier list back on the stream.
Yeah, you gotta.
Oh yeah, you're right.
All right. Jambo's like locked back in. He can start tuning in again.
Angels.
Angels is, I truly think, at worst strong pick.
Yeah,
It's a strong pick for sure.
Like,
Yeah.
I think it's probably a little worse than Mother Shoto. It's just not going to see play for you.
I think it's better.
Sorry, I think Mother Shoto. Ooh, I think Mother Shoto Medieval is maybe better, but I will give you that. That also the Angels players have been playing it a long time and they'll take it to events. I think Mother Shoto players aren't showing up in numbers yet.
I think it's forever the sleeper deck. I think we've known this, that it doesn't matter how small of a percentage the Angel players bring. If it's a small pool, a lot of them will convert. The deck is sleeper broken.
This was
That's
the
true.
third highest converting deck at EU Nats and NA Nats. It wasn't in LATAM because they don't play yellow decks in LATAM.
No, it got top 16. It got top 16.
It got top
last time.
16.
Okay, sorry,
but that's what
the one guy converted. Sorry.
Yeah, no, but take that for what it is. That means even LATAM, where they don't play yellow, Angels got through.
Yeah, this isn't
it's
this
great.
isn't an underground pile of 50. The second Europe results got posted, everyone knew what this deck did.
Yeah.
This
So
is
one of the
this is-
strongest picks, I think.
this is arguably stronger than. Okay, actually, no. I was going to say it's stronger than Mother Shoto. No, it's not. Medieval's.
Medieval
No,
is that good.
Yeah.
No, but you can play Medieval in Angels. You go
Yeah.
wide enough.
Good one.
Yeah, you do go wide enough. He's right.
I mean, yeah, sure, whatever. Yeah, no,
It's
I'll let you off.
You can combine the DP minus plus the pops to solidify your comeback potential, or solidify your board states.
That's diabolical.
Why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
I will say this though, we aren't the actual things Angels has gotten that isn't just we know what the deck is good from watching it at U and NA. Is scrambles and Patamon. That's the first thing everyone likes to talk about when they talk about EX8s and toys for it.
Mm-hmm.
I also think there's some generically good value to DP minus. Lingering DP minus from Anjuamon is very strong right now.
Cherubi.
It helps. Yeah, Cherubi. Oh, dude. Oh, a Cherubimon that doesn't get its infects tightly eaten can actually out the Deep Sabers board. And it's weird when there are big removal decks from Digimon effects that don't have that problem. So
The thing is, with Angels sometimes just lacks passive plays. The deck sometimes is not trying to immediately start pushing damage. It just needs something to do. And slamming a Medieval alongside your Angel board is well, out this as well. It's it becomes incredibly tough. The layered interaction between the aces and the Medieval is insane.
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Gives them something to do that's not the mini slide, but also
I think Angels. If we want to start reorganizing stuff, I think Angels is genuinely better than Mother Shoto.
I want to throw a couple more things in.
Yeah, I was gonna say right now we just don't have enough.
And then I want to reshuffle.
Yeah, we're playing between ones and twos that might
Yeah.
split up way later.
All right, Gora.
Gora.
I think it's in Rogue right now.
Yeah.
I think it's in
Rogue.
Rogue.
I
Yeah.
agree with that. DGG evolves a house, and it's really
It's
good this format.
good.
And having deletion immunity from the evolving from trash is good, and then having the blue bounce immunity full stop is amazing. So on the turns that happens, it can really carry a match.
It's a good deck, but it has its shortcomings sometimes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Dorumon being the only one that isn't protected from trash when Medieval Gallantmon exists, so you can't scramble for Dorumon without getting Dorumon popped, is really annoying. If they had a way to save Dorumon and then go up Medieval Gallant line, this deck would really do something, but it just gets farmed by that one guy.
All right, do we want to talk about the
Green Ranger
the
is
Green
a
Ranger
strong
in the
pick.
room?
Yeah, Green Ranger is a strong
Green Ranger's
pick.
Rogue. It's Rogue.
Okay.
Whoa.
Wait.
Rogue.
Rogue.
Okay. All right. Well,
Whoa,
okay.
I
all
was
right,
gonna say viable.
Listen,
I think-
if we're putting Gora in Rogue and we're putting fucking Green Ranger in Strong, we're moving Dora up to viable.
It's
at that point.
one of the best Medieval Gallantmon spitter outers. And that's all you need.
Yeah, but I mean, it's a strong pick. It's got the same problems as Bloom has. It's just it's
Right,
got
but
a bit more adaptability.
I think if your deck can spit out Medieval Gallantmon, it's at minimum viable.
Put it in
I
viable.
think
Viable's
this
fine.
deck-
Put it in viable.
I would
Go
be
ahead,
willing
Marcio.
to entertain strong pick if we were in a world where Gallantmon didn't exist. Then I would
Oh yeah, you
confidently
do lose that
say,
matchup. It's really bad.
yeah, we're not putting decks in Medieval. We're not putting decks in Rogue because Medieval is that's not why we put the deck
it has other problems.
I'm getting upset at a random chatter. When was the last time that deck? When was the last time decks actually did something? It got maybe one.
It
top
was
at NA.
it was
Yeah,
NA.
One top at NA.
NA armor weren't running Sorojo, so they didn't just have oh, if I queue into an armor and they slam down the 4-cost tamer,
Yeah.
I lose on the spot.
It's like one top, whatever. Sick. It was like a one trick. Like, congrats, bro.
I think Ben did well at NA Nats this year.
I actually, fellas, I think it's IDVW got the one.
That's
top.
cool.
So
Whatever.
congrats on your top again.
It's my tier list.
Sick,
Yeah.
man. Nice. Cheers.
Yeah, nice top. Anyway.
Anyway, take fucking
Anyway.
region next.
The thing with like Leopard is like distinct from Bloom in the sense that like Leopard doesn't have to swing. Bloom has to swing, right? But like
Yes, it does.
but Leopard's viability is shattered by the fact that like Gallant exists. However, it also like loses to like random like rogue decks and like some more like obscure things. Like the deck is really good when you tailor it to beat the meta, but if your round one isn't meta and you're like in the X1 bracket, you're in hell. Like the deck will just like
if you expect to see lots of Gallantmons or will be punished for playing your medieval Gallantmons out like spitballs, you're completely correct. But in a world where it does not have to care about that and it gets to go, ooh baby, here we go, medieval Gallantmon for nothing.
It's pretty good.
And then you send him off. Yeah,
I would say
it's that
it's like the second best like green deck. I would say it's like
bugs. I'll give you that.
After bugs, it's like the second best green deck because it has all the tools that it has all the tools that green doesn't have. It has DDG Evolve and Lingering DP minus.
Mm-hmm.
I'd say this is better than bugs. But
I think bugs beats for
that is a hot take.
But Leopardmon doesn't get as much experimentation as bugs because people like bugs more for some reason.
That is a hot take that
what
I'm
do you
willing
for some
to...
reason? Have you seen Tentomon? He's awesome.
People just like bugs.
Yeah,
I'm not talking about the card. I'm not talking about the quality of card. I'm talking about the literal character designs.
Yeah, I know.
Like
But
bugs,
this is what I'm
Jumbo,
saying.
there's
It's
a
like
reason.
it's not a mystery why people play bugs. The bugs are cool.
There's
Yeah,
a
but, like,
reason why I put more time
you
into
seen
fucking
Leopard X?
Tyrant.
Yeah, I love Leopard X.
Yeah.
If I was playing green, I'd be
It's an
playing this.
EX5
But I'm
card.
not
It's
playing
entirely
green.
broken because it's an
Yeah.
EX5 card.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll be honest, Jambo, really, it's you just got to pick your poison of weird like Japanese influence. Are you a Sentai guy or are you a Godzilla big bug kind of guy? Or which which wolf is winning the fight
but
inside your
Tyrant's a
head?
Sentai reference as well.
Yeah, but he's like
Because it's a reference to the villains out of Super Sentai.
yes,
Yeah.
but like, do you like watching the ranger go like? Or do you just want the big bug coming over the hill? And a lot of people like the big bug coming over the hill. And
No.
there's a new bug in the
I
hill.
would almost
True.
say that they're almost interchangeable. Like if you're a green player, if you like hone your craft on like both decks, you can always flex between like which one you think is better for that event. And like they lose to different things. Like the things
Yeah.
that bugs loses to are not the same things that like leopard lose to.
Mm-hmm.
So like I would almost put them like almost near each other, but I think right now bugs might be like a little bit better. But we'll get there eventually. But I don't think it's a terrible doo-doo dog water deck, but I don't think it's also like I'm comfortable sending people out to play like Green Ranger.
Yeah, that's fair.
Sure.
Do we want to
Viable's fine.
put bugs in now whilst we're talking about it?
We
I
can
want to talk about Gallantmon.
Alright,
Don't do that.
Alright, bring up the
Put
screen
it in
and do the
top
thing.
tier, please.
Do the
God,
thing,
just put it where I
do the
want
thing.
it.
Just put it in top tier. Just put it in
Yeah.
Just put it in top tier.
Hey, Tom, you got your binder on you? Have you got your binder on you?
I do have the binder. Do
You
want
want
me to
your
go get
binder?
the
Yeah,
cards?
go get your
You're
binder.
right.
Go get your
Go do
binder.
your thing. Do the
Beautiful.
screen
Thanks,
thing where it's like
I
it's
don't.
like
I
time
don't.
to
I don't
talk
think
about
we have
Gallant.
to explain why Gallant is stronger.
No, I think we do.
No, I think we do. It's really important that we do this. I think. Do I have this tweet? No, I did not have this tweet loaded anymore. But I actually was planning. This was an elaborate setup to grief him. Henny has also finished his playset of these. But yeah, Tom.
So
Welcome, children, to my ancient tome.
There we go.
I'm gonna do 2 seconds so you can all look at my shiny 2-star Gallantmons and then we can move on.
this has to be its own video, by the way.
Yeah, of course
I need
it's its own video.
It'd
Look, chat,
be like the old RuneScape
a
pack.
playset of 2-star Gallantmons. See me at regionals.
Before your regular alt arts, by the way.
Yeah, I don't
Diabolical.
own any regular I don't own any regular Gallant X. I could not get any while I was doing this. I also have the SPs, but we're out here.
No alts, no regulars, just 2 stars.
No. Gotta keep these in your binders, guys.
But
Alright,
yeah.
Anyway, I think it's important
yeah,
to cover why
Gallantmon.
Gallant.
Oh, go ahead.
Take it
Marcio.
away.
No, go ahead, Marcio. You want to talk about Gallantmon?
So
Fine. I've been waiting this whole time for nothing.
no. I'm just gonna say, like, I think Gallantmon got tools that it didn't have before, right? And that's like in a vacuum, one sentence, deck does thing that didn't do before. Tom, take it away.
Marcio's right. The deck getting protection changed it fundamentally. But there is another part of this that we haven't had a chance to explore in a while, which is depending on how you build this archetype, there are either just Gallantmon good stuff rebuild piles, we play like delete threshold good stuff, or you get to tap into something that we haven't done since like BT11, BT12 with Greymon.
My favorite system administrator.
This is the modern Cool Boy BT9 interpretation. This deck has the potential to just be like, we have not had a good X antibody and non-X antibody slide evolving bullshit deck in quite a while. And this year it's Gallantmon's turn.
You could argue Birds, but Birds only has like 2 X antibodies.
Well, Bird also, like, you never played Cool Boy in Bird.
No. But you played Protoform.
Yeah. This is a true blue, like, Protoform plus Cool Boy good stuff deck when you need it to just be nice and simple. But the advantage you get for that is you get red good stuff to help interact with the purple cards that negatively impact your game plan. You have specifically the advantage of purple, like, option removal being kind of like less than it used to be at the moment. And then you have like an emphasis on Digimon and Digimon interaction has changed the game such that like Gallantmon's newfound all turns while you got the memory over the blitz numbers, like that just sort of like that is enough to get it over some of the matchups you didn't want it to play around before. Notably, you still don't have a great time against hybrids. They sure do leave you a board with nothing to pop. There are things you can do about that now. Gallantmon was getting cards for that sort of problem this whole time. If No was the best thing ever printed in Digimon. But if it isn't going to continue to develop in a way that like I don't want to spoil OCE stuff. I've only heard a little bit. We haven't had official standings because it's not all finished this weekend. But like in LATAM, we had 2 in top 8. And they were built broadly pretty differently. And the things about Gallantmon are that despite having options to build it in different ways, we get back to the like, oh, you know, it only deletes things. And like, yeah, now it has DP minus because they give it, guys, it's red, blue, and yellow because Gallantmon is those colors. It's very stupid. But now that it has that, you still delete them. Like DP minus still ends up with a game state delete, tap Takato, gain your inherits, blah, blah, blah. Like if you were just going to create a deck that goes like, oh, well, I don't really care about getting deleted, you could still solve that problem. So Gallantmon is only as good as teching anti-meta will allow it to be. But right now, in coming off the heels of purple being great and blue being the second best color, it has a golden opportunity. If you like Gallantmon, go take it to an event. This is the month. Do it right now. Like, I think if it's going to win a regional, right, like in EX8, it's going to happen this weekend in OCE.
I was going to say something like, oh, it's waiting for like its better cards, but then like when it gets its better cards, the competition also goes up.
Yeah. The trade-off to BT19 is we don't have raid. And yes, it makes some matchups worse. Like, you do not like Mother Shoto as much without raid. Well, you do not like Magnamon as much without raid.
I'm gonna say something.
You can still play the raid Gallantmon. It's terrible.
Okay, thank you. No, it isn't.
It's not good. It's not good enough. It's not good enough. There are so many concessions you have to make raid Gallantmon work, and using the original X antibody is a big trade-off. Like, it's good for some things, but Protoform is broken, and we know Protoform is broken. When Gallantmon X gets looked at on the ban list, y'all, it will not be a Gallantmon named card. It will be a card called Protoform. But that's, we don't have to get into that the whole time. Please play Gallantmon. This is not just another fucking clip of me talking about it. It's really that good.
I think
it was that good the last time I said it, but you guys now the training wheels are on.
I think we are almost shifting to the dream format of black, red, and green.
Yep, we're nearly there. They have to ban 7 purple cards for me to feel confident, but we're nearly there.
Almost there. The other thing about like Gallon is like it's like I think it's like the premier red deck. I think like red hasn't had like a premier red deck that was like, okay, this is like by far like insane. There's Birds, but Birds had like
Birds was not a meta force. Birds was like counter meta.
It was like a counter meta thing, and then like it had like a bad blue matchup, and like red hybrid was like decent and it was like viable, but like it also was like
fraudulent.
It would sometimes lose to it was like fraudulent, lose to itself. This is like this is like capital letters, like red. DP, security checks,
attack, burn
and
security,
burn, and like tempo. Like this is like go. Like you don't have
all
to
it's
think a
missing
lot.
right now is easy raid, and it gets it really soon.
You don't have to think super hard about like your lines of play. It's like your C combo, you resolve card, you win the game.
Yeah, sometimes the tempo is too much for them to catch up on. So you just seriously, please God, take a Gallantmon to an event. Just try it. It's really good right now.
All right, people will not be taking Dynasmon to an event.
People will not be taking Dynas.
Oh,
we can put in funny but doggy.
Don't skip this one entirely. It's certainly funny but doggy because you can scramble Sukamons.
Okay, yeah. Is Rapid X
viable? It has more pops than most of the decks on this fucking list.
Wait,
yeah, like Terriermon, good stuff, viable. I agree.
Did it top? Oh yeah, it did top. NA. That's not the worst.
This card still has Mega Gargo Ace as like a random little trump card. The minus 4,000 DP blanket kicks the snot out of the go wide decks. It has armor purge for Rapid or Gallant Medieval.
No, maybe I'm underselling it. My thought process on like Rapid is that like the Rapid players know that it is like always going to be like an uphill battle. Like the dream of like a Terriermon like meta will just not happen. But the deck is like strong enough. But the problem is like a lot of times you're just going to be in the back foot and then like eventually you stabilize and win, right? Very rarely you're the beatdown. A lot of the times you're reacting. But yeah, I think like putting in viable is fine.
Yeah, it is one of those.
Wait, that does go against the statement that I said that like Leopard and Bugs were the better two green decks.
We're gonna shift stuff around. I don't necessarily agree with the order in viable anymore.
Okay, sure.
Yeah,
anyway.
that's fine.
Grace Nova is funny but doggy. There are different ways to play.
Is this okay? Because if we're not using this to categorize Grace Nova, then what are we doing for Life Ignite?
Is the Red Tamer just on here?
No, just use that as Galaxy.
I did not make this tier list, chat.
Yeah,
I did not. This is
just use that as Galaxy. Put it in format.
Then it's I think it's format defining. I
think
Galaxy stuff has hit like in the past, like
Gallant X.
Yeah, Gallant X is the big thing, but I would actually argue
medieval Dino.
Yeah, the biggest change is Dino. Dino is by far better for that deck than medieval or than Gallant X or anything like that. Like
Blue assesses on a green card, it just doesn't make sense.
It's the change from like this is a blue toolbox to this is a real blue-red toolbox, and like Dinomon is a 1-card counter to Takumi Kazuchi. And having the option to play Dinomon in Mirage is so good. It's so strong. You could just sit there, build a thing to make a Mirage in the back, Galaxy pile up your way to a Dinomon in the front, and then just sit on some Wisterias for a while. You've already won the game. You may as well make an OTK. Like, it's unlosable from that point.
So I'm using like, it's not like the best statement or like the best like graph that we could have gotten. And I know that like Life Ignite Claw is like really good. Oh no, never mind. It was.
It has multiple tops, so far too.
It was a top 8,
right?
Latam. It has a top 8 Latam. I'm trolling. Never mind. Yep. Format defining. Crazy deck.
Yeah, I don't even think the Latam list is playing Dinomon, so like the bar is gonna keep moving.
It was on Gallant X.
Yeah, Gallant X and Gabu Bond, which was sick.
Yeah. But Bond is like kind of insane in this deck.
Yeah, because it goes over the Agumon, doesn't it?
No, that's Agumon.
No, that's not why.
Gabubond is good because it bot decks anything with less sources than the 19 stat miserable thing.
Okay, yeah, because I've seen some lists that try using Agumon to go over the yellow Agumon because
you've seen exactly Tommy NT do it. That's
no, I've seen Tricks do it as well. But no, I've seen it in some other things. It's really funny.
The deck's format defining. It stands to basically get better every set until they hit the Red Tamer.
Here we are. What do we think?
I would say Rogue.
Rogue, right? Like it's certainly better than Blue Hybrid.
Yeah.
A deck that finds it's that easy at finding Hexablow. How bad could it be?
My thing with like Scottie is
Skibbity.
I don't think Skibbity. I guess I don't know. I think that deck has independently like powerful tools, but it has to spend a lot of its power budget source stripping. And if you're the thing is, right, it's like, this is my issue. I fucking hate source stripping that. It's like, it's the most like...
Give me the camera, Andrew. He's going to talk
Give me the fucking camera. Give me the fucking camera, okay? Why are we spending all this time to source strip something that we're going to get rid of anyway? Like, what's the point of stripping something all the way for you to go, Scottie, go to security? At that point, your cards could have had any other effect and they would have been more efficient. Why are we wasting time source stripping? It's like, oh, you know, when I source strip, I get to like do a little bonus thing. It's like, just give the effect up front. We don't need to source strip. Either get rid of the card completely or stop wasting my time. Because a lot of the time, it's going to be like, all right, I'm looking at a stack and it's like two, or like a Tama, a 3, a 4, a 5, and a 6. And then every single source strip player is like, oh, I'm going to think about what source strips I'm going to take here. Okay, I'll take the top 2. Then they'll go, oh, I got to think about this one. I'm going to take the bottom 2. And then they'll go, oh, I'll get the last one. And then it's like, oh, I'll just like remove it. So why did we spend all this time removing the sources if you're just going to put it into the security, man? Just give the deck like something else to do.
Guys,
I will say though that Polar Bear is fucking insane. A blue deck that gets this card can't use when digivolving is inherently insane.
Yeah, this deck is just missing waves of support. It is going to be annoying. And like the other thing this deck has, or I've seen a lot of people talk about this that makes me laugh every time. You know, we still don't have an ace with Ice Body, or sorry, with Iceclad. The day we get an ace with Iceclad changes how Source Strip as an engine works fundamentally, because the minute you go from like, oh, well, I'm outing it at the end of my turn, like Marcio is completely right. It is entirely wasteful efficiency-wise to just like not resolve the card the first time on like, or have an effect that bypasses the protection you'd be Source Stripping. Like, we have those in the game. And if you wanted to Source Strip the annoying thing, the better way to do it is to digivolve it. Like, that's just the strongest solution we've got in the game. Until Iceclad came along, and Iceclad was like, oh, the writing's on the wall. They're going to change, like, fundamentally changing game rule to make Source Strip the best way to play in your deck. That's what it took. So, like, you know, oh, I strip all your crap. I have a lonely polar baramon. Don't hit me. I got you. That's going to be an entire, like the day they finally get to that, I think will change this archetype. But right now, also, it's too fair. Get it? like we used to say.
No, it has like powerful cards, but like I think like the deck, I've seen it like being played a lot. It like sometimes runs out of gas. It has incredible like damage pushes.
Hexaball is so good, man.
Not even like Hexaball, just like Polar Bear. There's like footage of people just like getting domed by Scottie Mon or whatever.
Yeah.
I think it's a decent deck.
This week I took. This is Jambo's fault, but I took 8 security damage in one turn. Like,
how's it Jambo's fault?
Because I showed Jambo an opening hand that was, if I hit it off the top, cracked hand. If I don't, actual brick. And he's like, you'll hit it off the top. I'm like, word, I won't mulligan.
Because I get it done. Yeah, because I get it done like that.
Okay, yeah.
We don't all have the Jamboree special.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Grief.
You gotta remind him sometimes.
Grief into the sun. But yeah, then I took 8 damage in one turn and went, oh, got him GG's, I guess. Where were we at?
Next?
We had Virus Imperial. We're skipping Virus Imperial, right?
No, we're not. Virus Imperial is better than Skip. It's funny but doggy or rogue.
We have to trim the fat here, mate. Come on. What do we do?
It's actually the thing.
It's fine.
This card can literally, with 2 Wormmons, combo itself through medieval.
Oh, we are in Scrabble timing now as well.
Yeah, like Scrabble
this deck's stupid.
The deck is rogue.
Just because y'all don't own the Shoddy-mon or the Shadermons, isn't that
Shoddy?
Hey, don't question my money.
Yeah,
don't question my money. I own them. All right, I still want to play.
That's real cashmere, by the way, guys.
I'm borrowing them. Give them to me, Jumbo. No, I think the deck is rogue. We don't have to elaborate, but the deck is rogue.
Okay, we don't have to elaborate on the other Imperial in the room.
Strong pick.
Strong pick.
Yeah.
I think forever like the front runner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait.
Yeah. Okay. Sure.
Yeah. Yeah. Justimon.
Justimon as an archetype.
I wouldn't.
Yeah, he's not here. Justimon's not here.
Agent Jumbo. Agent Jumbo.
No,
let him know. No. Let him know how bad it is, Agent Jumbo.
Hold the spice. Hold the spice.
Guys.
Okay, we need. Yeah, okay. Like, it's fun right now, right? But when 2.5 hits, it becomes this insanely strong mid-range advantage deck. But right now, it's. Say that again.
It's like a new BT8 Black or Gray, but like for the modern Digimon.
We eject him.
So I will tell you this now. I will tell you this now. Right? Tap in every Justimon player in the fucking room. Tap
all
in,
6 of you.
All right. No. There's a bunch of them, right? There's a bunch of them.
Have you seen Digicode? Have you seen Digicode?
No, I make it a policy to stop going in there. It's bad for my mental health.
The thing with Justy is like, in theory, the idea of the Justimon OTK is really cool and based and awesome, and we've been doing that for 3 years, okay? But there's a point in the game where OTKing isn't viable. Now, hear me out. I'm going to present a scenario in which Justimon simply cannot beat, which is a level 5 with no sources under it. Any level 5 with no sources and a viable, like, ace on top beats Justimon's OTK fundamentally.
How could we tier a deck that loses to Davis?
Now, if we had the yellow plugin, maybe there's an argument that like we can bypass the ace play. And like, does the deck OTK from 4 memory? Yes, but the deck has no protection. The deck has to spend time finding pieces and getting domed. It's not flexible. And like,
the deck is getting domed.
It's just like, it's
every day.
It's a waste of like brain power. It's just like the idea of like, Justimon OTK Kamen Rider. I love Henshin. Cool. You will get to do that in 2.5 with actual good cards. Let go of the OTK and play the fucking devices, and you will actually start winning games.
Yeah, the devices are all
play a card game in a card game.
The devices are crazy, y'all. If like, we might even just have to talk about devices.
Collision.
Devices are so good right now. Like,
we have collision piercing,
yeah,
and they don't want to play it. It's like, actually, the Dorumon package is really good. And like, yes, there are arguments that like you can do taunt setups, but you still need to play like the cards to do that really well. And even then, it's like, you're not OTK. Just play the fucking mid-range device deck. You'll win in 2 turns. Is it a satisfying? No, but you win the game.
Okay, we have to rank Justimon because it's an EX8 deck, and we said we'd do Barbamon for the same reason. So for that, I'm willing to give you better than Funny But Doggy, because I think it's better than Barbamon.
No, it's not. It's not. Trust me.
I'd rather take Baramon to a tournament.
I would rather take Baramon.
I'd honestly take Baramon to a tournament over Justimon.
Have you read Marine Devimon? That card is individually.
I want to play it
individually better than the entire Justimon archetype as it stands.
Yeah, have you read Funny. It's so funny that they gave you Justimon with no Rio. It's so funny.
Yeah, it's like joke.
It's the craziest thing.
You also have the Cybertron X as well.
Not giving me Takado. You guys have. It's just unbelievable.
It's not better than Barra. I'll bet my fucking life on it. It's better than Barra.
Me and Jumbo are turning into.
I'll bet my life on it.
Me and Jumbo are going to turn into the Harley Quinn and the Joker in the new Joker 2 movie, and I'm calling dibs on Lady Gaga.
Let him tier it. I can't bear to think about Cybergermon for one more second.
Take us to the tier list. Back
to the tier list.
All right, now Bugs.
Moving on.
Andrew, put us on the tier list.
Yeah, Bugs.
Andrew, let me in.
All right.
What Bugs? Oh, Bugs is a no. Bugs is format defining.
That is a hot take.
I mean it.
You know how we always have like one slot where the wording of our tier list forces us to make a decision that is actually
by the actual definition of format defining. Bugs is format defining.
Yeah.
Bugs is the you queue in with 50 Digimon and lose on the spot.
You lose on the spot
for the first
time.
I think
it's literally. Yeah. I agree. I think it's the deck where like you compare each other's 50s, and if your 50 has an out to my 50, cool. But if your deck
you play Uno.
No, literally, like we could just flip the decks, and you go, oh, you can't interact with Tyrant in a meaningful way. I win the game.
Me when I'm queuing up for Balacho game round 4 of Digimon Regionals.
Yeah, I go.
Oh my spades!
There's a lot of
why.
I would probably put like realistically, I would put Bugs in like a strong pick, because like a lot of the strong pick decks, like Bugs tends to have like a bit more trouble with. Like Imperial is like notoriously bad for Bugs. Things like what's like another example? Life Galaxy. Yeah. Even like Scottie can be like kind of annoying because like they just like stop you from suspending on the following turn. It loses to like modern blue mechanics. But the deck is like incredibly powerful. I think it's like people don't play green, and this deck is like the most boring kind of green. It's like I'm gonna sit on my towers and like win the game over the course of like 6 turns, but you're instead of scooping, you're gonna make me sit through it.
I think Bugs is also still, despite it all, underexplored. Like, I'm willing to let Marcio off the hook. He did name the tiers this time, chat. But I think if we don't want to admit that it's format defining because of how we've named the tiers, I think it's better than like a lot of the decks you guys think are going to win a regional, Bugs will manhandle.
So like, there's like core weaknesses like redirection, like things that like stop you from being redirected, like that sucks. Freeze.
Yeah, you lose to blue.
Yeah, you basically lose to blue. And like if blue is good, then Bugs is bad. But Bugs is good into red. Bugs is good into like purple to an extent. Like you're to an extent, yeah, it's good into purple. It's good into yellow. It's definitely like very, very, very strong.
I think
you really have to dodge Demon Lords, right? That's the really bad one.
No. Demon's fine.
I thought they like just hit you with an option and you lost the game.
But they don't play that many options.
Yeah.
Purple.
Like it's the same as like purple hybrid.
Blue is the worst it's been in about 6 months, and Bugs conversely is getting better.
Yeah. The thing is like it's like the redirection sucks for the deck, but the deck has like aces. Like if you put me at like
really.
Yeah, Shiva beats like the things that stop you from being redirected. So it's like I have outs to like can be redirected. The problem is like just the blue modern like mechanics beat the deck sometimes. But like for example, like Demon Lord is like show me an option or you're not outing this. Like the Demon Lords don't float if they delete it.
Well, the Mega Kabu is like amazing for Demon Lords, right? Sorry,
yeah, like
entire. You know, it was Mega.
No, Herc.
My bad.
BT15 Herc. Solo Demon Lords by itself.
Yeah,
suspend.
Absolutely.
You go sideways. I punch, and I'm gonna do that 5 times, and then Tento for a game, and that's like the game plan. But yeah, anyway, we can move on from Bugs. Like realistically, it should be a strong pick, but by the wording of the tier list, it's format defining.
It can be the bottom of format defining and basically still be the best strong pick.
Sure.
I
agree with that.
Heavy Leo, we're skipping.
I'm skipping Leomon. Leviamon. I think Leviamon is format defining.
Yeah.
Yep. Shout outs to
Leviamon approaching its one last ride. Surely this time they just get every card in their hit. If you've ever looked at a Lord Knight list and gone, hang on, how did they determine what to call this? Because it's 49 of the same 50 cards. Welcome to Digimon in 2024. We're glad you unthawed from the giant ice cube you've been in.
Yeah.
I think people just forgot about like Levia, and there was like a golden
it's Japan's
quarter
fault.
of the. It was like a golden quarter of the year because like on paper Levia beats Nume to an extent.
It was EX6. It was exactly EX6 where Levia took a back seat, and then the ban list came out in BT17. Well. No, in 16 it was really good. In 16 it won like a regional or two, didn't it?
Oh, okay. That's fair. I don't remember. I remember like there was like a big comeback for Levia in like BT17.
Yeah, it was after the Omnimon ban list.
Yeah, like it was like super back. I mean, I don't remember how exactly the matchup went. I think like Nume had a strong like
they just had to recur at the right time to survive.
Yeah. I mean, Jumbo's like the Nume player here. He probably remembers.
It was almost 50-50. A lot of the times it was like they established one biting crush, it felt like your fucking game was over. But like if they didn't establish a biting crush before you full comboed, you kind of just won.
Yeah. I think like we don't need to like the deck has been. It's
Levia
like
now. Would you agree with this? Would you agree that it's the best? It's like actively in the format the best tamer interaction, and it's therefore probably the strongest way to deal with purple hybrids.
Say again?
Would you agree that it has the strongest tamer interaction, and therefore probably has the best angle to interact with purple hybrids?
Yeah, I'd say people like.
There's not a lot of tamer interaction in the format, regardless.
You can be like. You can just be as like reactive as possible in that matchup. You don't have to play proactive at all as a purple hybrid player in that matchup. The only thing you really have to do is like not hope you check a tamer. But like if you already have like 2 to 3 tamers, you can just convert that into board wipes. Yeah.
Yeah.
The matchup's not as bad as people think it is. I think
no, it's not.
I think like what Moment did to Tyler was an absolute, Jesus Christ! It was the funniest shit I've ever watched. But I don't think it's as bad. Yeah.
It's not that bad. I think like Levia, like because like somebody Dire in the chat put that like because Magna X got hit with Awakening, it made like the Levia matchup like a lot more doable.
Yeah.
and then like Nume had the tech to beat Levi as well. So like the deck has stood the test of time, and it's like adapted time and time again. And we're probably approaching the point where like the deck will probably start seeing some fall off that after Worlds. Like I would say the deck is still really good in EX8, but after that, like it'll probably start seeing some downtrends. I don't think like the 2.5 Digimon that we're gonna be playing is like particularly like favored for Levia, in my opinion.
Yeah, the problem with the Levia as well is like the cards are just so pound for pound good, and all of the hits, unless they actually do hit the Crocs themselves, like they're just gonna find whatever the most like by the numbers efficient purple draw engine is after all the dogs are simultaneously kennelled. So like, unless they hit the Crocs, the viability of the deck really won't. It will be an evergreen purple deck, I think.
I think that's kind of by design, though. They've definitely been kind to the Demon Lords and given them like unique interactive space for their own archetypes. But
Mollusk Tribal.
They have
one day.
Unless they literally hit Leviamon X, this deck isn't going to go anywhere when the dogs get hit.
Move on.
I guarantee you it'll be back to the mollusks and be viable in a year.
It'll just move on to like the next best. I will say that like the Siako Gesso X Marine Devi, it's like a shell that's like almost as good as like Agitar Sunflower for Levia, but the difference is that like then you're dealing with a floodgate, whereas like Bloom's floodgates were like up front. Levia just has like floodgates like hidden. But yeah, like the thing is like you'll deal a bit less damage, but your grind game is probably a little bit better. I think the deck will be like more on pace with other stuff.
I just hope, for the love of God, that they finally get around to giving purple like prohibitively expensive generic Digivolution and start archetype locking some of these goddamn cards
they should
together.
Just start making all these purple cards dual color.
Yeah, it's just disgusting. Like if this Leviamon was blue purple this whole time and it cost 7 to Evo and you had to play it over specifically like what's his name?
Why?
Dracomon. Like the problem is generic. Purple's problem is that it's allowed its generic cards.
Yeah.
They are better than every other color's generic cards.
But like every purple deck right now is 50 generic purple cards that have all micro synergies.
Yeah,
Barbamon.
We just have to cut them out.
Barbamon is 50 generic.
You play them with
purple
mollusks. Where are the
only
fallen
uses
angels?
the mollusk engine because the dark animal engine doesn't suit the game plan.
Yeah, it's awful, dude.
There's an argument to make.
Purple had flavor and lost it all in a year. It's terrible.
There's an argument to make that the mollusks don't do anything either. People just like don't know how to play.
They just don't want to play Fallen Angels that bad.
No. What I'm saying is,
the Gessamon's not the best card in that engine.
Yeah, of course it is. It's a good card. That's the problem. There are no other good cards.
Not my purple player, KnTElixar, that plays decks that don't draw one, trash one.
Yes, sir. I'm not like these other Pokemon players.
Decks that go -7 and all game actions.
Yes, sir.
We can't keep dipping our. This is my fault. I'll take the rap on that. We have to talk about tier list and not ban list.
Yeah, we have to move on.
Lord Knight is
worse for viable.
Yeah, I think it's viable.
Yeah,
I think Digivolve carries it a lot, but not being as defensive is not as good.
Yeah,
it's Levia's fucking dog on a leash. That's what it is.
Yeah, if you're willing to splash Leviathan cards into Lord Knight, it makes the deck.
Let's just put it down and move on. It's rogue. It's purely off.
No, we should write a 3-part Reddit thread.
6 months.
No.
You have to remember every game action. That's why.
Yeah, I hope to God that they come up with something for Lucamon in the Liberator support, because right now that archetype is missing fun. They forgot fun.
It took that player as long to write that write-up as each individual game.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not entertaining Lucamon.
We should cover that on a bonus content, because it'll be really funny to go through that whole manifesto. And then when it comes out a month later and is even less relevant, it'll be even funnier.
Anyway,
it's prime.
Magna Thunder Gunder, baby. How are we talking about Thunder Gunder?
No, don't. It's funny, but dog. It's funny, but dog.
Yo, it is a dog.
All right.
Mallow is not getting tiered.
No, neither is Master.
Neither is funny but dog. Mastermon is funny but dog.
Neither is fucking Marukimon.
No, we don't need to put some of these. What's this? Galactic? Is it Galactic time?
that is Millennium.
That is Melga X.
That's Melga.
Melga X.
That's
sorry. Definition of funny but doggy.
I was skipping Melga. I just didn't want to talk about him anymore. Please don't rank
funny
Melga.
but doggy. Come on, it has to be funny. Come on.
Right.
We're not putting money on it.
What do you mean
No,
we're not playing
Millennium-
Millennium? That's a
Millennium
This
is
deck
viable.
Shit.
Millennium
I'm sorry,
is
I think this
viable.
deck is dog shit.
No. It's a
shit is
purple deck that
rogue.
beats purple. It's a
Yeah,
purple deck that beats the shit out of
Rogue
purple
with a
decks.
fanboy.
No. The deck is genuinely good. Like, not like amazing, but it's like a decent deck. You can't ignore like Millennium and just be like, no, the deck doesn't do it. Like, the deck has a win con and it has like a real niche.
Yeah, Moon Millennium randomly soloing matchups is very funny. I think this deck is viable. I think it's worse than Deep Savers, and I'd leave it there.
In a best of one
W.
format, probably inside.
Yeah, Jambo, you haven't lived until you've watched an Imperial Dramon player draw
please
20.
Don't put it viable,
No,
please.
you've never watched an Imperial Dramon player draw 20
Wait,
on the
Jambo's
attack.
right. It's not better than Diaboromon.
Yeah.
I feel very strongly
that
about
is
Diaboromon.
literally true.
That
That is
is-
a true statement.
I will
and
let-
I can't believe I'm
I
agreeing
will
with
let
Tom.
Andrew do his piece, his like think piece,
You've
because like we've
You've
entertained
never lived.
Diaboro.
you've never lived until you've accidentally killed 4 tamers with 1 moon. It's some of the most like.
I wouldn't
Also,
say accidentally. Like,
By
you
the
did-
time
the
Purple
entire
Hybrid
time
made-
was just built in.
no,
By
I
the
just
time
mean
Purple
like.
Hybrid made 4 Tamers, you're dead.
Yeah, no, I mean like. Imperial Dramon doesn't OTK
shit.
you, draws 50 cards, and you go, oh, interesting. How many cards are in hand? Moon. And then you wipe every Daiken on the board. It's brilliant. In the control matchups where they play 1,000,000 tamers.
Yeah.
I mean,
But
Mother
we're talking
Shoto.
about Liam, who
He-
wanted to
he
print
was
19
best
memory every turn, so he didn't kill you. Is that
No,
he's,
it's-
he's quitting smoking.
The-
Liam is quitting smoking and therefore has to get his hit somewhere else.
So one of the other things is like Imperial on a low roll actually does struggle to like actually flashbang you out because of kind of like how you can play for blocker retail, how you can be really like memory efficient with it. The Garnet memory boost and purple memory boost are really helpful for the deck. Basically being able to turn every stack, every level 5 stack into a blocker retail body is incredibly frustrating to deal with. And if you are a single stack deck, you just die. Like I can push out a 4 resolve chimera and I will kill myself happily every single like I will push out a raising and put that toaster straight in the bathtub. You and me, we're going for a swim and I'm walking back out. Like especially promo Deltamon, like promo Deltamon allows it to be a 1-cost play. If you have analog youth, that is like quite literally 0 cost answer the body like every single time. It's a fantastic matchup check. And pretty much every single game, as long as you're not playing into like armor where there's something where it's really like fucky levels of 3, 4, 6. If you're playing against a real ass deck that just goes 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, you are gaining 4 memory back. You've got active ability to de-digivolve, recursion from trash. Like and then you know being able to force them to brick is an incredibly like. Unless you've had it happen to you a couple of times, you're like, oh yeah, but how
It's
bad is
so
it? But
lame.
it's so strong. Like the clearing a board and going, I'm giving you cards that will make sure that you cannot come back into the game feels incredible. And you can grind. Like you can get yourself into situations where you lose game 1, steal game 2, and take a point into the next round. Like it's really
go,
good
4
for
draws.
a
Okay,
draw or
you're
win
selling-
kind of.
Undefeated.
You go 4 draws at fanboy. That's what you do.
No,
You go 4 draws at fanboy and come what? 16th out of
Jambo,
20 people?
I've top 8'd both the last locals on this deck.
Out of
like-
24 people.
Hey, no,
Yeah, that's more
last
than an
week-
Evo
last
Cup
week-
in some places.
Yeah, last
Yeah,
week
true.
it was
Okay,
30.
all right.
Yeah.
Last week it
Like,
was
the
30.
deck-
Oh
The
my
deck
God.
is good. It's just like
Yeah.
you need to, it's like the kind of deck where like you need to scoop early if you're not gonna win, and sometimes you're just gonna end up playing for the draw. But like that's like a control deck.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I'm gonna be so sad
Like,
when all
better
of your
than
like
Lucifer.
devout YouTube audience is like, I wish you'd give us more Millennium profiles while you ghost one trick it up.
Anyway,
yeah, no,
next deck.
I'm trying to get
Back
my
to the-
2 stars. You feel me?
Next deck. Next deck.
Next deck.
Back to the tier list.
is-
Tier list, please.
Oh, we're on a. Let's go put this all the way over
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
I've thought about it.
I hope this is the last time we have to put him here.
It won't be.
I think this, and like maybe they'll announce the ban list before February, and it'll come into effect midway through unification, and then we'll be like, world peace.
They could put choice
And
restricts.
I know like the Unkers guys think it's a joke that we all want this card banned. I get it, but like, it's
they play
just
best of 1.
yeah. Well, yeah, and also like it's enough's enough. Like cards should have shelf lives.
Yeah. I mean, especially since they've mentioned on ban lists when it's like, this card's been around a lot longer than we thought it would be. But I'm just like we were talking about Levia, like, damn. If
this card's better than Galaxy, for the record.
I'm just saying, they could choice restrict like Mirage with like the Galaxy Tamers. They could hit half the cards on this list until they find a way to start printing this card in 2 colors. Or they actually just turn Mirage BT11 to a 0. Yeah, this deck, we will be talking about this deck next year. And we will be very unhappy about it.
Yep.
I think we should do a little bit of tuning for format defining. I think like Mirage is the best one on here. I think Gallant is second, and maybe like Levia third.
Do we think straight Mirage is better?
I think at the moment straight Mirage will win more. But Galaxy is that good.
I'm happy to bump Tyrant to strong pick, by the way. I'm just saying.
I think it's funnier the longer it stays.
You just said a couple times. Don't worry, dude. We heard you.
Yeah.
No. Come on.
I think we should just leave it where it is.
We've talked about Mirage,
so bad.
Let's just scroll down to NSO.
Okay, so we can do.
It's Rogue.
I would even entertain that it's like viable. Like the deck is like pretty good.
I think it's at least like.
No, the problem is
it's probably about as good as Syndromon.
I would say like no, the deck is like you haven't played it, but like I've tested it. The deck is genuine. No, I'm talking about like Jumbo.
Oh, okay.
Don't G check me, right?
No,
you know I've got.
Me and Jumbo.
You definitely don't have.
Me and Jumbo were on Drazzle playing EX8 in like September.
That's crazy because the deck is like genuinely good. Like the turn that you make bolt out.
Why Terry asked why didn't you read any of my cards? Because I know what they did anyway.
Trust me, like it's a viable deck that like you could take to a tournament. It has flaws and it's like it has like weaknesses.
Do you think it's better than Deep Savers?
I would say so the pendulum decks all work on the premise that like if they make their level 7, they win the game. They're like incredibly tempo swinging.
Yeah,
like,
that's what I'd like to believe. I've played a lot of KnTElixar.
That's the that's like
I love that deck.
No, but like the Nightmare Soldier deck is genuinely like really good.
Yeah, if they make Baltmon with the scapegoat, they usually pop off.
Yeah.
Like if they have like if they assemble like the pieces like right place to do the combo and like it's a purple deck that has aces and it's a good ace. They have
a really good ace.
They have a good floodgate. They contest board extremely well, and they have like a real win con. That's it.
Is scapegoat only for deletion?
Yeah, but it includes battle.
Yeah, because I was gonna say like I think the Nightmare Soldier's option card, like pound for pound, like at first I was like, whoa, like Alliance, that's crazy, or like can't be deleted in battle. But I genuinely think the Nightmare Soldiers might be the best pendulum like field spell.
If you want this is my like little pickup as a Gallantmon guy. Nightmare Soldiers randomly can just stonewall Gallantmon because you can't interact with Baltmon. You're immune, but you can't pop it, and you can't get rid of all their little guys at the same time. You can get rid of 3, but if they make the 4th one, you're like, God, they make it to another turn.
I'm willing to entertain that Nightmare Soldiers is the Green Ranger of purple.
No, Green Ranger is way better than Nightmare Soldiers relative to its color. Green Ranger is, what did we say before, the second best green deck? There are 3 other better purple decks at least on this tier list already. That's nuts. It can't be the Green Ranger.
It's a purple deck with the Digivolve DP minus, floodgates, and like good matchups into decks I want to delete. Like
isn't that kind of why Lord Knight is good?
Lord Knight loses to like floodgates more.
Yeah, that's true.
Nightmare Soldiers doesn't lose to floodgates.
That's true.
I'm
down to put it around where Deep Savers is.
If you want to put it, I wouldn't say it's as good as Deep Saver. I think Deep Savers is better.
Around there.
I put it like below, like Rapid, right? Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like it's viable, but it's just like people don't want to bring it, but it is a viable. Anyway, Demon Lords, woo!
It's format defining.
Format defining, right? Like it just has to be.
The thing Demon Lords does that some of the other purple decks do not do is it gets to play a real control game plan that like the others are kind of faking by just playing really reactively.
But this play is extremely reactive. This is like
that's what I mean. It's like the other purple decks that play defensive reactive gameplay are like they're LARPing as control decks. This is a control deck. This deck is like, bro, I got 50 minutes. I'm good. They'll go, I'm 1-0 up, sign the slip. Thank you very much. I'm glad you like my 2-star Agudamon. I like it too. And then they move on. They are not they're not restricted in the way that Leviamon is, where it has to find its way through twice. That being said, there are also advantages to this that like are not going to come through in other matchups. Yeah, it still gets to play all the Demon Lord good stuff, but like it also does not like you can't beat Deep Sabers. It's not possible. I don't know how you do it.
So funny.
You can't do it.
Anyway, I think it's a good deck. I feel like it's just.
Can I give you guys the tea?
I thought we were moving straight on to birds, and I wanted to get Jambo's like opinion on some, but we can do Omni first.
Omni is straight up better than Lord Nightmon.
Yeah,
I think Omni is nipping at the heels of Imperial.
Once Omnimon gets Omni X,
Miraculous Mega Knight is so good this format. It's outrageous.
Omni X is going to do like a lot for this deck, I think.
Yeah.
Also, we have Melga. Secret Melga beats Bugs, so lol. It's very good. I truly think that Omnimon is just underrepresented because it's kind of sacky. But like, look at the format. The format's kind of sacky.
All right, Jambo. Any thoughts?
Jambo, do you want to talk about birds?
Bring your mic in.
This is
the
best one-trick deck in the game. I think if you one-trick this, you'll fucking at least stay 2 every event you enter.
True, on our sample size of 1, W.
It's also like a purple counter.
He's not even a real one-trick, and he did that well. Imagine a real one-trick.
It's the red deck that beats black, purple, and red because like there's just no good point to interact with those cards.
Is it viable or a strong pick?
I had a tier on my list for like take if you're a one trick, because if you don't know what the fuck you're doing with this deck, bro, it's like the shittest piece of 50 you've ever seen.
Yeah.
But if like you know exactly how to kill someone on turn 4, it's
put in strong at least.
Yeah,
put in strong at least. It's at least as good as Imperial.
Like a
competent pilot.
Like I've been telling Donkey Dog, bro, take us to Worlds because he's been playing it for ages.
Yeah.
So like you're gonna make a Japanese player read Birds cards in English. Like,
I would say it's good on the premise that like European population and like NA population like knows how to deal with this deck, and I feel like the deck gets to do a lot in like JP format because like JP likes to play deletion heavy decks. Even like Gallon and stuff. Like how's Gallon going to interact with like Phoenix
Gallon
X?
hates this matchup.
Yeah, it's like you make Phoenix X and you go, okay, delete me, bro.
Literally just the fact that it has Blitz gets around Gallantmon X protection and immediately wins the matchup.
It's also really interesting.
We just play slapping fights. Except they get their stuff when they get deleted.
Now that we have Scramble as well.
Hybrid match. Yeah, Scramble, Christie. Like it's a very good deck. It just medieval.
Yeah,
it loses the blue really bad. Holy shit! Hexablow is annoying. Imperial is annoying. Like that's like the worst.
Yeah.
You can push through a lot of like control shells, like Tyrant. Like I like when you get to play against like Tyrant or Mother Shoto because like you have to like play out the turns and like you get to do like a lot of like the longer combos and like
chains,
like, the real crazy turns that make you go, oh shit, what the fuck? This is like 4 Garuda X's being thrown at me like Strider Hiri, you know, like it's like
that's exactly what it is. Great comparison.
Ouroboros. We're playing Marvel now.
We could skip Gamamon.
Best deck in the
It's the best deck in the format.
Best deck in the format.
Right now.
All right.
Best deck in the format.
He deserves it. That's my goat.
I'm a hater of this deck, but like you guys do your thing.
Yeah, Digimon Rumble Arena 2.
Purple Hybrid is so flexible. It just it steals tools from everything. Like I'll let Jambo give his whole thing because this guy could give you the dissertation. But like Purple Hybrid is like, as with every scenario that Purple has existed in for years, this is what's going to be Purple's new dog engine. Like a lot of stuff is just going to start borrowing the hybrid things because like Koichi is generically powerful. The hybrids have a unique interaction point that nothing else in the game can interact with. Color changing is fantastic. The mill stuff, Velgramon's an absolute great bozo card that just trades. And like all of that is so airtight that you can play great boost medieval. You can play Argomon. There's secret Gallantmon's BT13 just floating around. There's people playing like Like I've seen Moon Millenniummons and shit. Like there's no cap on like the stupid stuff you can't do with this engine, and every generic tool they give it gets it even more like of a reach. Like it'll just steal from everything.
It's also it's very flexible.
Yeah, all the fluff has been cut. We don't have to play like shitty Merva packages anymore. We don't have to play just like cards that we just don't need to play. We've broken it down to the necessities. New Shiako, really good. We don't have to play the Merva stuff because we can just play Nidhogg, and then Nidhogg becomes a recurable Jack raid at all stages.
Yeah.
Adaptation with the structure deck mat. Print free memory when you discard one. Sick. Medieval. You can search it off Grape. Funny as fuck. And then also, you can just play other packages, which we discussed earlier. You can play Apocalymon. You can play the loogamon package at the bottom end with the Sunamon eggs if you really wanted to. You can just convert your mono purple stack into a Venus.
Yeah.
You know, you can play the Wowie Kaiser package if you wanted. You can play the Rihi stuff. You can play Venus. You can play Agar. You can play its toolbox to fuck.
Yeah, with Sendry as well, top end.
Yeah, with Sendry. It's such a flexible package, but I just think the low to the ground beat down variant is just better. But that's with the mats, but that's just me, right? Obviously, it's just the best deck at the moment. It top two Latam, both decks were on it. Easily the best pick in Asia right now, unless you're like the best Take player in Asia, which Benjamin Fever is.
Yeah.
It's probably gonna win Japan finals, right? It's probably gonna win Oceania tomorrow because there's like a group of 10 purple players in Oceania who top every event.
It was also like there was at least 3 in top 16, right?
Yeah, there was 3
for NA.
There was 3 top 16 in NA. It came top 4 in NA, and it came top 8 twice in Europe.
It didn't do as well in Europe in comparison.
It had 2 top 8s.
Europe did struggle. But I mean,
okay,
we've always been a format that is by the blue.
Yeah, but Purple Hybrid looked worst in Europe because we just fucking love Mirage, right? we just love it.
Yeah, somebody's gonna actually forcibly divorce us from Miragegaogamon.
Yeah, Purple Hybrid good deck. What do we have left? We're
zooming, guys. We're halfway there, baby.
Pyramidi, Ragnar.
Pyramidi Rogue.
Right, let's.
Yeah,
sure.
It's Rogue. Like
it's a new archetype. We have to rank it.
Ragnar. I'd say it's like Rogue.
I'm talking.
I think Galacti is like
viable.
It's like strong pick, viable.
It's like one of the top of viables.
Yeah, I think it's like Lord Knight good. Yeah.
It's like it has like a really good like red matchup. Like Gallant like really struggles into Galacti.
We've already covered red hybrid through Ancient. Bees aren't real.
Wait, what? Oh, okay.
Dynamon. I think Dynamon is Rogue, but as a tool, it goes in other things.
It's like the top of Rogue. I think the deck is like genuinely pretty good. Like it has an incredible like it's a red deck that beats
Fenrir.
Fenrir. You automatically beat Fenrir. You floodgate like some of the other like beatdown-ish decks. You have like D-Digivolve protection, 2D Digivolve. You have floating. It's like a red deck that floats. The problem is that like it's really awkward to build. Like you need a couple like you need like 2 things in rotation. Like every single turn you're pushing out. You need Ryutaro and you need the Tyranno X. A second Ryutaru like means that you don't need the Tyranno X, but then you don't have piercing. It's a good deck. It's just like its floor. It's like kind of low, and it just pushes you like on turn like 2. And then if you have like a decent answer, then it's like, oh well, like not meant to be.
Yeah.
Sakuyamon.
Bro.
Yeah.
It's like
it's missing Talmon in a way that really comes up this format.
Yeah. Talmon Luke though.
Oh, that'll be. We'll be talking about that soon.
Shine. I think Shine. No. Hear me out. I think Shine is like probably bottom of strong picks. I think it does things in this format that are really good.
Oh, you just ruined it. You've just ruined a good discussion.
No.
What the fuck are you saying?
No. Wait.
Shine has snuck itself into tops for the last few months.
Think about it.
It hasn't this format.
No, well, this format is what, 3 weeks old? There's been one regional.
Yeah, we haven't played anything yet.
It didn't for Europe.
No, but it did in NA, didn't it?
No,
No, I don't think so.
no, it didn't. I already know it
I
didn't.
think like post scrambles were like things of like a lot
Yeah,
better.
I was gonna
The
say
deck-
like it's a training abuser, so why wouldn't it also abuse Scramble? The ability to free play an Agumon so you can turn
It's-
Marcus back on at the start of your
Yeah.
main phase sounds kind of fucking stupid.
it's
Yeah, but
pretty
there's
good,
like
but
three
like
other decks in Rogue that are also scramble abusers.
I don't think the deck is like horrible.
Yeah,
I
we'll
think
put
the
it
deck
in
is.
Rogue. I'm fine with Rogue.
Yeah, fair enough.
I think the deck is strong like in a vacuum, but when it has to play into like other things, it can sometimes struggle. Like so it's like you have to make like weird concessions on like red base, yellow base, draw power, no draw power, more DP minus, less DP minus, and then like it's like if you're a yellow player, is there a premier yellow deck? I would say like Angels, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Angels for sure.
And
Yeah,
if
like-
you're a red player, there's a premier red deck with like Gallon. So it's
Who
like
who is an
Rogues.
actual Marcus Damon stan that is still like
no, there are.
Yeah,
there
but,
are.
like-
There's a lot of them.
Shine is one of the most one-trick decks I've ever seen.
Yeah, I would agree. Like Shine is
Latam.
extreme.
Yeah,
Shine-
Latam loves it. There's
They
random
fucking love
European
it, bro.
players.
Shine is extremely like one trickable, but it's like your
who's doing
tools are like and your tools are like really telegraphed. Like you don't really have like a surprise thing anymore. Like you could maybe like use Shine as an engine to like climb into powerful like sixes for like
Like
free like,
making
skipping.
Venus
I-
off
I
your
s-
Rise Grays.
I saw a really
Something
funny
like
list
that.
that uses
Yeah.
Machinedramon. Like it's just like Marcus Damon, and you just make
No,
Machine
that's-
over and
that
over again.
guy's a
So-
Japanese crackhead.
Yeah, it's so funny. It's so funny.
I don't disagree with Tom that like the deck is like really powerful, but like it takes more for a deck to like
the game caught
win.
up with it a lot.
Yeah, yeah.
Also, your Angels matchup blows nuts. It's awful.
Yeah, it's horrendous.
It's so bad. Newmemon, we just put him in rogues.
No, put it in. Don't
Eden
fucking
format.
Shit.
Eden format all star.
We don't have to rank it, guys. We can skip.
Don't rank it. There's no point.
'Cause
we'll
It needs.
Pulse is better with the addition of Shiva Ace. It does matter.
It is better,
not
but like
enough.
Not,
Not
yeah,
enough.
not enough. But I think it's
It will
better than
get better.
Barbamon, guys.
No. Okay.
But is
funny
it
but
funny?
doggy. Funny but
okay,
doggy.
yeah, okay. If it's funny, it is funny because you can like HPD into into Fenrir.
guys,
You can HPD into Takemika.
Okay, yes. Put it in rogue and give me this.
Oh, God
Thank
damn
you.
it.
Okay, this is the
Okay,
other
format
bidet.
defining. Thank
Yeah,
you.
this is after right between the two mirages, in my opinion.
Yeah.
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 So like let's get this out of the way. Fenrir, on paper, if you
the
write
best
it
deck in the
down,
game.
it's
Yeah.
the best deck in the
If
game.
you play
It's the
mental Digimon, you win every
Yeah.
time. You played the dice roll. Whee!
If you write down your game actions on a piece
You're
of paper,
playing
present them to
telegraph
your opponent, you
chess.
win the game.
It's like a text adventure game, you know, like you're like one potion.
It's like a deck building game, right? At that
Yeah.
point, it's like I've assembled the dream
Players-
combo.
Statistically speaking,
On
players
paper.
much better than the average viewing audience in tournament performance records have solved this archetype. You can just go play it and get coaching and study really hard and guaranteed you'll do really well compared to your average result. Like, this deck is really good, but it loses to itself. So
Yeah.
if you're cool with that, that's awesome. Enjoy.
It loses to itself a little bit, but like sometimes it's like the good players will be able to like maximize their like games
Also,
in the
you
best of
cannot beat
threes.
Dinomon.
No, yeah, it's like
You cannot beat Dinomon.
there are 3 red decks that just have like the funniest like Fenrir
Yeah.
matchup: Birds, Dino, and Millenni. Like
Yeah.
Millenni just
Millennium absolutely
destroys.
runs over this matchup.
It's so funny.
It's so funny.
So, like,
yeah.
You also
because
hate, if you hate Gallantmon, like if you're like, I'm so mad at all the Gallantmon Andes I know, you should pick
Yeah.
Fenrir. It's really good for that.
And they're like, hey, how's the good purple matchup? Because like they're chipping you and chipping like the thing with purple
Shipping
hybrid
Fenrir
is
is bad.
yeah, chipping Fenrir is like horrible. Don't do that.
Yeah.
Because like you'll like check one security. Oh, you gave him the Kazuchi that they were missing in the trash. You lost
Yeah.
the game. So like it's like
Give
it's
him a
almost,
boost.
It's almost like the opposite of something like Secon or a control deck where like the lines of play that you have to do, you have to think about the game like differently. Like you realistically can't really chip Fenrir unless like you have a really good reason.
Yeah.
Like if you have like a really robust damage map, then it's okay. But a lot of the times you should just be like, I think I'm gonna go for I'm gonna not swing and then I'll one bang you. Unless it's like Levy, in which case you could like do whatever you want and go biting crush and then they cry, right? It's like
Yeah.
you can just go like empty board state biting crush and then they're just like, oh man, I can't beat biting crush. Yeah.
We're nearly done, boys. Let's see what else we got.
Delay lock.
Rogue.
NSP.
Rogue.
For real, Rogue.
Jambo.
Jambo.
How do you
Tap
feel
in,
about
buddy.
Force? Tap in. Agent Jambo, let him know.
Like,
Mina, what's her name? Minami and Caesarmon and Labra.
It's funny.
You gonna take a dog for a walk today, Jambo?
It's funny, bro. I already did. My lovely little pooch called Donny.
You mean you didn't name them all force?
Getting puppies, calling him Rena and Vivi.
Imagine. Yeah, it's the worst deck and funny.
You think it's worse than
It's
Melga?
not the
Worse
worst.
than Melga?
It's not like that. The deck is not that bad.
Yo, of your 3 children, Jambo, which one disappoints you the most?
Thunder Gunder's way better than Ulforce.
Oh, Thunder Gun's better than Ulforce. Yeah.
Way better than Ulforce.
Because
I was
Thunder
trying to
Gun's like
move
a
us
bad
along.
one.
You can make Magna every turn, and your opponent can't do anything about it. That's the gameplay loop. Okay, can we just?
Yeah.
All right.
And now,
Let's get on roll night.
this is this is fish.
Wargreymon.
No, this is real
Don't
fish.
skip
Can
my
we-
Wargreymon. Don't skip Wargreymon.
Okay, fine. Wargreymon.
Okay,
The hypothetical Greymon
Yeah.
toolbox is dead. Actual Wargreymon, like an Agumon, Skull Greymon, Wargreymon, Greymon control, that shit rips. It solves a lot of the problems you have by playing miserable sleeper Greymon toolbox. It whoops ass. It stomps all over stuff that doesn't want to get like you hate Imperial, so does he. Hit him harder. It's so good. I definitely think it's like it is Ancient Greymon's weird little brother.
Alright, bro.
Okay. Are you
Trust,
still on like
I
the Wargrey
actually-
X as well and stuff like that? Or
Yeah, Wargrey X is tight. If you hate yellow, Wargrey X is really funny. They Dominique slide and they lose 2.
Right, Unk.
I think it's probably better than Dinomon, but it's close. I would put
It's
it
not
around.
better than
I think it's
Dino.
about.
What
I
are
think
we
it's about.
saying?
I think it's about
What?
as good as Boltmountmon.
What the fuck?
I think
Where
like
did-
yeah, I mean,
you went up
get it.
from Dino.
What are we saying?
Yeah. You guys gotta play it. It's really sick.
You gotta bring it to locals because you can't
You
just be
gotta
saying
take it to
stuff
I
like
got
that.
other stuff. Hey, listen. I got my mail day.
you are
today,
so
y'all.
lucky that Gallant is like good right now, so you don't have a good excuse to fucking put your money where your mouth is. It's
What
like,
do you mean?
guys, you like if you can choose between like current Gallant and current Wargreymon, you're picking Gallant.
Yeah, I've been waiting for this for years.
Okay, yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what the
But I'll
point I'm
play
making. It's like,
Wargreymon if you want. Like I
no,
played
nobody
this
wants you to.
2.0.
We don't. You don't have to play Wargreymon. Nobody's like holding you like
It's
you
just,
have to.
it's just a questionable opinion.
I think it's really good. You guys have to try it out.
I don't think there's a thing that Wargreymon does better than the existing red decks. Like I don't think like it floats. Like yeah, it can delete stuff, but like there are
It's
other
the
decks that
best
delete
at
stuff.
killing something in a fight. That's not even close. Of all the red decks, if you need fighting red decks, it's the one. That is the thing it's the best at. It's always been the best at that.
I don't know, man. Justimon got words.
Wargreymon gets bigger than Justimon.
Does
Me and
it
Tommy
though?
Tricks have run that into the hills. There are games where one of them wins, and there's a game where another one wins. It's hard to be bigger than 28,000.
He has built-in raid, so like I guess like there's viability. Like
there are pieces in
mother
Wargreymon
control.
that he's just so good at fighting dudes.
yeah, that's fine. All right.
Okay, right.
That is like
Put him with Dinomon and humor me and move on.
no,
Yeah. You know what? Fantastic clickbait.
it's good clickbait.
What's left? Fish.
Fish, Shoutmon, and
we can do
Shaman's
Knight.
Shoutmon.
Shaman's not in this format.
Fish.
Fish. It's like there's a premier fish deck, and anything that isn't that, I don't think is like.
Also, all the
It ain't
fish
Deep
players are
Savers.
gonna
It ain't.
be playing Deep Savers.
It ain't Deep Savers.
Yeah, right. It's like fish is deep savers right now, and
Yeah,
it's gonna
you're
be
right.
like really tough.
Yeah, we won't rank it because none of the fish enthusiasts are playing fish. They're all playing Deep Savers.
I still
Yeah.
Ryugumon is not a bad card, and I don't
It's a
want us
good
to
card.
get like we're not gonna get
Yeah.
clipped and be like we don't like Ryugumon. It's just we don't fuck with fish because like why would you not just pick the card that wins? Like again, Deep Savers can't lose to Demon Lords, and Demon Lords is probably a top 5 deck.
Yeah.
So just
But, like,
take the easy ticket sometimes.
Ryugo is like a good card, but the things that you have to play in Fish to enable like Ryugo.
The new Yao is
and
really good, right? Like she's
the
like
Yao is
she
really
changes
good.
the fish stuff a lot.
Yeah.
But guess where the Yao was really good at?
Yeah,
But
she's
you
also
also
really
play
good
it
at
Deep
just
Savers.
In
yeah,
Deep Savers,
blue
yeah.
slop fish deep savers.
It's not flop.
It is.
How
You've had
dare you.
every fourth Digimon card printed in blue is a fish.
How dare you? It's not slop.
Andrew, go on card app and search aquatic.
No, it's not slop. It's
crashes the
refined
stream, by the way.
toolboxing. You see,
Sorry.
their cringe purple slop, our refined toolboxing.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you, Andrew. Thank you, Andrew.
Okay.
This is why he has the YouTube channel with 3,000 subscribers.
That's true. He knows how to talk to the people. Can we put like Royal Knights in funny but doggy?
I would say it's
You think
like,
it's bad?
I think
don't
it's
think it's-
drastically worse in this format than it was in 2.0.
yeah, there's more competition, but this is also like a waiting room. You know, like
And they
we're
made
getting
Deep Savers. You can't play it.
Oh yeah, you're right. yeah,
so-
you're,
Why
you're,
are we like
you're
put it
so
away?
right. You're so
That
right.
is true.
That is.
But I will say that like in the future, stay tuned. 2.5
Yeah, it's gonna be
real.
really good down the line.
Wait.
I'm not
Yeah,
knocking
yeah.
it.
Where do
Like
we
it
put
has just new axes of gameplay. You've had them on as like Yellowvac. We don't have to rank Yellowvac, do we? Like it's just like
We already
You
have.
know,
Polar Bear is technically
Yeah.
support, but like just play Angels. Don't fuck around.
Uh,
That's like Vortex Warriors. Where's Zafagamon?
oh, I
This-
guess we could.
yeah, this is
Alright.
the Faga.
Everybody, we're using medieval Gallantmon as Zafaga picture. Okay, this is not like a medieval control deck. This is Zafaga. Okay, for everybody that has skipped to the tier list, make sure you put
Good thing
down
it's
like
last.
put down like a sword emoji and a bird emoji, and then that tells me that you didn't actually watch the video, and you know that this is Zafaga. Anyway, so like Zeph is weird. Zeph is like really weird because like so up until BT 20, I was done with the whole like, okay, the deck is missing this thing. Like at this point in time, EX8, the deck has everything it could have possibly asked for. All the things that we're getting in the future are bonuses. Okay, like yes, the ace is crazy and the shoto is crazy and the whatever, but we have everything that we would want. The deck has a couple of issues, and like it suffers the most out of those issues. It has green syndrome. You don't give me a body to interact with, I'm doing fuck all. However, Medieval Gallantmon does solve like a massive like holding
turning your
that's still,
guy
like,
unaffected and then taking
Yes,
Medieval Gallantmon
yeah.
is that good, it turns out.
So, like, the main thing that it does is that, like, Medieval Gallantmon buys you enough time to make the opponent play the game. Like, you can just, like, you have initiative now, and you can be, like, sitting on an unaffected Medieval Gallantmon that's, like, 13k or whatever, and, like, it will make the opponent play into you, which is what you want. Like, you want to bait out the opponent. Past that, that's when the deck gets to flourish. Like, you have a million ways to become unaffected. You have a ton of suspends and unsuspends. You can swing into things that are, like, upright. You have like decent-ish removal. It struggles like with a few things. You can patch it like with like Rapidmon for the Digivolve here and there, and like its power gain is like a little bit weird. Sometimes you have like old memory ESSs, and sometimes you have like old power ESSs, and its consistency is a little bit weird. I'm saying a lot of words to basically say that the deck is a viable option. Like I would say that the deck is viable. You could say like top of Rogue if you want. I think the deck is viable, but the thing is,
It's certainly better than Central Dawn. Like just
Yeah,
by like the
well,
cards it's gotten,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
probably like at least Deep Savers range.
yeah,
Like Deep
the thing-
Savers, Ancient Gray.
I will say
Kinda
that the thing is like the sequencing with the deck, because of the way like you have your end of turn swing and unsuspense and things like that. Like if you're not familiar with like how to sequence your turns, you're gonna miss like a lot of lines that would have pushed a lot more damage, or kill lines or things like that, and like not knowing who's the beatdown. But I would say the deck is like viable. Like this is as good as Zeph is. Like you're not waiting for anything. That like
Excuse me.
yeah, the ace is great and whatever, but like the deck is playable without the ace. That's basically it. I'm done yapping.
Okay.
Yeah, the other like crazy part is like we talked about other cards it's gotten, just like every other Liberator deck we've mentioned to promo. The promo Galeamon is amazing.
Oh yeah, the
so
promo
please
Galeamon
go to
is
locals and
insane.
get your promo. It's very good.
It does a lot for the deck. The deck is generally pretty good, but it like suffers from green syndrome the most. Like Terrier doesn't really suffer from green syndrome. I would argue that like Leopard doesn't really suffer from green syndrome. I would say like Tyrant. There are matchups where like you do have to like, go first, but like, But yeah, that's like pretty much it. Can we move Tyrant off of
reorganize some things? Oh my god!
Before we do,
you made your bed, lion.
I've got one last thing.
Are you gonna put like
say
Justimon Blanc?
Say Eosmon.
Yeah, no, I'm not gonna say Eosmon. That would probably.
I knew it.
Where does Arissa's other? Where
like,
does
it's probably Rogue. It's probably just Rogue. Like, how bad could like anything that's just this much stupid like synergy with Arisa plus Revelations plus
also medieval Gallantmon is another card that just goes in that list.
And you can give it decoy.
we can start organizing some stuff.
Yeah, can we start with the top tier? I think that's the thing that matters.
Okay, let's move Tyrant back because like the format of fighting, it's like yes, you got me on my own fucking like wording of the tier list, but the deck is not like the deck is not that good. I'm gonna people are gonna fucking take me out of context. I'm gonna get shamed in public.
They should watch the video. You should just tell people to watch the video.
Yeah, they'd just be like, trust guy.
Yeah, watch the video. I think we've got it in the wrong order still though. Magnamon is too high. Magnamon should be a couple spots lower. It's like worse than Levy.
Yeah, we said it would be the worst.
Please move it down.
What do you mean? It's stuck. I keep trying. Like, look, I keep trying.
It's not. It's budget.
No,
yeah, it's really.
It's
sideways and unaffected, Marcio.
Jambo, what do you think? I feel like we've got the top three, right? And I think we need to. I think Gallantmon's probably better than Galaxy.
I think Gallantmon. Yeah, Gallantmon's better than Galaxy. Just.
I don't know. I think Gallantmon will do better in the next couple weeks than Takemika will because everyone and their dog is playing Gallantmon in an event. Like, you can't go a 2-meter walk without finding a Gallantmon table. So I think Gallantmon probably have a better result immediately than Takemika.
Just by the numbers.
But I think Takemika is better.
It doesn't feel right that we have like more formatted fighting than strong picks. I feel like we should have like
they're all really obscene, stupid.
Yeah, but
like Magnamon is completely unaffected. What'd you say?
That shows it's a diverse metagame if there's a lot of fucking...
I hate diversity.
All right, Trump, mate. All right, come on.
Yeah.
We're doing.
This is why he doesn't like purple hybrid.
Are you going to throw your heart out to people? Is that what you're going to do? My heart out to you.
Me and my knights in viable option.
Let's see. I think like
is Demon Lord?
I'd probably bump Zeph down a bit actually. Like the deck is good, but
I think the problem is I think we might have accidentally felt viable too much.
You think more stuff should be in Rogue?
No, I think 2 or 3 of the viable picks are maybe the bottom of strong.
Yeah, that's fair.
I think like Galacti is a strong pick.
Galacti is a strong pick. I was literally Galacti and Lord Knight are like the basement dwellers of strong.
I hate
Lord Knight too, but like it'll just accidentally do it. It'll just accidentally do it.
Like how much worse can you be? Yeah, like how much worse can it be than Levia when 47 of the cards are the same?
But it's like you're not playing Biting Crush.
Okay,
like,
45
some of them are.
Of the cards are the same.
That's fine, whatever. Yeah, I think like Zeph is like I'm willing to put Zeph in like top of Rogue. I think like Zeph is like the like whippy snap what is it called? The lone
Scrappy
hero.
Young hero.
That's like,
move that Omni down. What are we doing? Come on. Move that Omni back. What are we doing?
I recognize
I saw that, you cheeky
can't let me have shit, can you?
I saw that shit.
I can't have anything on this stupid show.
I reckon like Zeph should either be like bottom of viable or top of Rogue because like.
Oh, okay. Well then, I think Zephygamon's better than Centralmon. I just think Centralmon has what it takes. So,
I think it's like they're good for different reasons. Like Central is an aggro deck. Like Zeph is a like reactive deck. Like Central.
I think Zeph will do better in a tournament than Central, and I think Central is stronger archetype wise right now.
How is Zeph like interacting with like purple hybrid?
It literally just does. It doesn't have to be everything in the top tier to be an invincible medieval Gallantmon.
But it's like beyond that. It's like Fenri is awkward.
Sometimes you just win off being an invincible medieval Gallantmon.
Yeah, I suppose. I mean, yeah. We could like maybe move Bolt out, but like, I think it's kind of funny for the tier list. Leopard is probably I think like Leopard's better than Central. I'm just saying.
Yeah,
Yeah, I agree with that,
I also think it's
actually.
really funny to have 3 decks that could be the same 45 cards, and then depending on which 5 that you bring to the table, you jump
Yeah.
down a tier.
Yeah.
I think the more we talk about
NSO
fish,
isn't the same 45. That is all-in engine. That's,
No,
that's
have you
NSO's
not seen? There's versions
like
of this
just a
list that
dog
just run
base.
dog
No,
base.
no, no,
You
that
just
deck
draw one,
is
trash one, and you turbo
that deck
into the
is
bolt
so
back.
ass.
No,
They're
it just
playing bad
OTK's turn
deck building
3.
theory.
No, that OTK's turn 3. It just
Okay, yeah, sick. You know what else OTK's?
Levia, yeah.
A turn less.
Fenrir.
Leviamon. And Fenri.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, depending on which 5 that you put on your 45, like, you know, you get your porridge, and you're like, am I feeling bananas today, or I'm gonna treat myself. I'm gonna put some blueberries on this bitch. That's what, depending on where you get on the tier. Like,
would
Bolt
say,
is the bananas on your porridge.
I would say like Central is either like also a rogue deck or like a viable, like bottom of viable. Because like we don't have the results to back it up. Like this is
Yeah,
all like
that's
is
my. All right, fine. I'll give you that.
it's like if the promo was what
But
pushes the deck.
I won't tolerate if they're in the same tier. Zafagamon is better than Central.
Yes, Zafaga is better than Central. If they're both like if they were both waiting for the promo to push the deck over the edge.
It's definitely viable. There's no way Vortex Warriors isn't viable.
Okay,
The
that's
things
fine.
it does
can
is
be
obscene.
okay. It can be like the worst viable deck.
It's
Like
totally better than Nightmare Soldiers.
sure. Okay, yes, that is correct.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's better than Rapid. I think like Rapid is like it plays like Quartz.
Rapid
like,
has more tops than like.
Yeah, Rapid does have more
the decks
tops.
on here.
Rapid
Yeah,
has
like-
more tops, but like the reason you would play Vortex Warriors only came out this month, so it can't have historical records.
Yeah, that is also true.
So like it can't like I agree with you. I also low key think we have those 2 green decks in viable too low. I think we're seeing a little bit of green downplay right now. I think Green Ranger might be the
Shut
best
up.
viable deck. And,
God damn, let me, dude, relax.
But it's
How
fine.
am I supposed? How am I supposed?
Well, you're
to
not going to an event this format. You're fine.
How am I supposed to get a video on KnTElixar when you're bigging up my fucking decks? Just let me.
Dude, we could literally give the 50 away in a video and no one would listen.
Yeah.
You severely underestimate like
I could
your
win
influence.
If it's not on TikTok in 5 minutes, the net deckers won't get it.
Teaser. If I win the Ulti Cup next week, right? My exact 50 is on Andrew's channel tonight.
Yeah.
So,
He's right. I'm gonna do the degen, like the old like Mario's Gaming World style ones, where I'm like calling you as the call drops. Like he hops off of table 1, and you just have. Yeah.
The thing is, right, like, green is like probably the worst color right now. Yeah, I'll say like green is like the worst color right now.
There's just no. Yellow has 2 decks.
But fucking hell, those decks are insane.
Yeah, and so are the green ones.
They're not like Angels is like
Bugs is at least as good as Angels. At least as good as Angels. And then there's 3 other great ones. Green is not low tier little superhero anymore. It's been getting main character syndrome push for a year.
Chat, he's not getting the picture. I'm not going to top this. I'm not fucking making it to Euros.
You're not going to
year.
any events. It doesn't matter. We can just talk to the people.
Black isn't the
They
one.
won't play it anyway. Nobody plays green. People could be like, remember when Bloom was just the best deck in the game and it wasn't close and 8 people played it in Europe?
Well,
Like, it doesn't matter.
The deck is hard.
Yeah, but like, they're a hard other deck. Like, do you remember how many people committed to sort of learning purple loop lists?
No.
Sort of. Like, you
No.
could just commit to a good deck instead. I don't know.
Anyway,
Green is great. Playing some of these colors.
I have some things that like need to be bumped up. Gora could be bumped up, I think.
Where did we? Oh yeah.
Gore's put on the low end.
Ooh,
Gora should be bumped up a bit. It's like better than
I don't think it leaves the
Wargreymon.
tier though. Yeah, I don't think
it doesn't leave the
tier.
yeah.
It doesn't leave the tier, but it's like better than Wargreymon for sure.
I don't think it's better than Diaboro though.
I don't know, like taunt plus like it can like turn skip people.
My reason to also really not be super fond. Yeah, one, the turn skip's huge. You know, aces are still massive.
Yeah.
If
it does more off a scramble as well. I'll give it that.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. I'll leave it.
Also,
Yeah.
if my goat Johnny can't make Diaboromon work, I am
He's
still
not even
like
practicing it.
he
brought it.
he brought it
people.
last. He brought it this
Yeah,
week.
he
He
keeps bringing it.
I played against Bloom last week at locals.
Oh, that is true. Yeah, he played Bloom last week.
He's not interested. He's trying
Wait.
plants again.
Wait, Jambo, what did you
Where's
play?
Bloom?
You played him
Oh.
this week. What was he on?
You have the
didn't-
footage.
I haven't looked at the footage. That's why I'm asking.
Yes, it was on volume.
Okay. Also, because I never get deck lists from Johnny, so like I actually didn't know what the
Yeah.
matchup looked like. Yeah, like he's back on Bloom because Diaboromon just hasn't been thinking. Like if he isn't making that thing work, like I love the theory Digimon of what it can do, but until I actually see like by and large one of like my favorite Diaboromon pilots do it, it's really hard to like cope him. Like
Can I address a commentary?
Scramble thing.
Can we move Tyrant down? Actually, I agree with Marcio. That deck's not as good.
Fine.
No, no,
yeah,
strong
it's gonna be the
no,
last
no,
thing. It's
No,
just
hold
fun.
on.
Oh,
Somebody
now
was
he
like,
wants it.
we put
Oh.
Tyrant in meta while Imperial won more tournaments. This is about the current format. It's also our tier list. Why is it so difficult for people
Well,
to say
also,
it's
if
my
you-
fucking tier list?
If you weren't here for when we explained it, you're gonna have to watch the VOD back later, pal.
Yeah.
That's on you.
Tyrant's there in a hostage situation.
If you're on YouTube, you can rewind if you were here. I'll give you
God
strong.
forbid
I
have
will,
my
Jambo,
tier list where
Marcio,
I put the cards where I want.
Jambo,
Holy
Marcio,
shit.
I will give you strong pick. I think Bugs is warping enough to do it, but like
It's form.
Look,
No, what we said is true, 100% true. Bugs is format defining, where it's like if you don't have it out to Tyrant, the deck wins, regardless of its matchups into the other top tier decks. It is one of the most truest, like Gatekeeper. There are decks that's entire viability is just like, well, I can't out Tyrant, so like,
Leave it then.
Yeah, we should
Huh?
leave it. I think we should leave it in format defining. You're
Leave
right.
it.
You're so right, Marcio. We should leave it in format
but
defining.
like for example, like Imperial is
Convince
better
me.
than Mother. Imperial is like fundamentally a better deck than Mother.
Yeah, you're right. Well, best of three.
Yeah, especially best of three. Like Imperial
Yeah.
has tools to beat Mother.
Oh, they have
If,
scramble
if,
now as well.
if the Mother player's not playing at the speed of a tortoise, you know, or let me read every single card in my hand again.
Let me play a different deck list and get like DQ'd.
Like,
No.
Oh,
I think like
boy.
Imperial is like, I would say like the gatekeeper of like the strong picks, like
Yeah.
the decks below it, like
okay, I'm cool with this.
yeah, like Imperial is like objectively strong. Like there's a reason why we still complain about Daiken and the BT12 pieces and like is it like as good as like Purple Hybrid? No. Is it as good as like Takemika? Biodramon kind of does a lot for that matchup. It means that you don't die.
Scramble
pretty
is
good.
also really interesting. Like Jade Memory boosted bait, but Scramble is yeah, it's really good for that deck. Does a whole
Well,
lot.
if you're printing memory, yes, I
I mean,
agree.
even if you're not printing memory, like being able to
I think
cheat, it's like it's another
Cheat a
copy of
Wormmon.
Primo in some instances.
I think it's really funny that we're doing the tier list like the night of like OCE finals, which is like the other regional
I'm
gets
so
actually-
confident in our pick on format defining. I think you could basically draw a line through these top 5 decks and say that these are all top.
Yeah, like they'll probably top like 100%. I don't disagree, and it's like we are in a diverse format, so like the format defining archetypes are going to be like more. It's going to be like more populated, right? Because they're just that many decks.
I
like,
think the diversity will fade off though. I think like people are going to come back around to the fact that like I don't expect Angels to keep topping. I don't think Angels. I don't think Angels will be. I don't think Angels will be in every top 16. I do think we'll see a green deck in most top 16s. I think we'll see mostly purple, and then it'll be Gallantmon and blue for the rest of the top 16s.
Angels
Like,
feel like a really
that's my
hard one
personal
to place for like the opposite reason that like we've got it obviously right next to birds, but I feel like it's really hard to place for the opposite reason. Like birds, the solo players will take that and you will get matchup checked, but like Angels is such a weird one because it feels like it's such a known quantity deck where like you forget about it and you go, oh shit, Angels is there, and then everyone goes, oh, I think I have all the Angel core, and then you know we've seen it converts really really well. It's really really strong, but it's also one of those decks that like when you can practice it, it feels, unless your deck is obviously designed to not beat it, it really does feel like one of those like strong picks that feels the most humble, I guess. Like looking at the other ones, like Galacti sometimes can like stonewall you, obviously, yes, so can Angels, but it feels like it's the deck that's easiest to pick apart that we have in strong picks right now. Unless it's like, unless you forgot about it. Like the difference between EU Nats and like that EU event where it just like smoked all of top tables. I think like putting it on the map and then seeing how less well, like some of the bases that we were seeing on like table 1 and 2 in that tournament were then kind of fighting X1, X2 bracket by EU Nats because a lot of the things that Angels does that are really unfair are easier to scout when the deck is known. So I think like it's one of those ones where if it's on people's radar from the start of EX8, I don't think it will do very well or like as well as it in theory could do. Whereas, you know, if people aren't ravenous for the EX8 tier lists and are just, you know, maybe they're living that humble under a rock life like our good friend Mr. Conquest, doesn't watch any Digimon content and just, you know, just rocks up to an event and goes, yo, there's angels in the room and dies. You know, sometimes that happens. But, you know, for the learned people out there that be reading the scriptures, I think Angels is like low key, probably one of the decks that we should put. So that future proof the list should be at the bottom of strong pick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's like
I'm indifferent at this point. I'm cool with whatever.
I feel like strong picks is kind of organized correctly. I could take it or leave it on the first two. Like I don't necessarily know which one we'll see more tops of in EX8.
I believe in NA. I think Imperial will just be carried by NA results.
Wait, does NA have that many EX8 regionals left?
I swear Imperial didn't even top once.
Yeah, like
oh yeah, actually, I don't know what the event schedule is.
I swear it just didn't top at all.
Imperial got. Let me just triple check.
I honestly don't know what the event calendar.
Imperial was
like.
top 32 at NA Nats.
It was one.
Yeah, just one Imperial in top 32.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like the game. It's like Imperial. It's like it has this history of topping, and it's like, whoa, the deck is good because it topped all these events. Exactly, it topped.
Yeah.
When was the last time that Imperial? Like, it's like that we can't deny that the deck
it
has
did
strength.
hey, for what it's worth, it got second to EU Nats.
That it did, yeah.
Oh
but, like,
shit!
it got top 32 in Europe.
Yeah,
yeah.
Like, it has topped and it will do well.
Top 32 in
NA.
Two LT Cups, no regionals. Yeah, so like I don't think NA can carry. Like it's
okay.
Just
Yeah, you're right. Actually,
it will also just be like EX8. It's like a transitional period. So like the people that are like going to the events, I don't know if you can get your invites for stuff like from the EX8 stuff, or if it's like
you can't get it from multi. You can't get it from
ultimate cups. Yeah, the regional season isn't starting until March 1st.
Yeah,
exactly. So it's like I think like when we're assessing like EX8, it's like, well, this is like a format that more so no 2.5 I think is going to be more like
2.5 is just about giving us the cards. There's not a ton of competitive events in March. There will be, but like that run up period, because it comes out what, February 26th or something.
Yeah,
like it's like right near the end of the month. Like that run up to it will then be like a scramble to get the cards, because if a region has a regional right away, then you'll need them, but otherwise it's like
there's no actual regionals happening till at least we know March 29th. So the way I'm seeing what the format's going to be is that we're going to get 2.5 cooldown period. They're going to use Worlds as a cool little like kickoff for the competitive season.
Yeah, like it's an off season.
And then the week after is when it all starts.
And then we'll get like a ban list, hopefully.
I think it's either like we get a ban list the day that 2.5 comes out, and then comes into effect 2 weeks after, just in time for Worlds, or we get it at Worlds Day.
Yeah, I think they announce it at Worlds. They're like, hey.
Yeah, they might do that.
Speaking of ban lists, fellas.
Yeah, I mean,
before
we've been on it for hours.
Yeah, that was the plan. That's what we started early.
Okay.
We started at 6 for a reason.
Really
we did that in 2 hours, not 3 hours, 2 hours.
This is where Andrew's gonna cut off the video. So if you've watched the tier list, make sure you, in the comments, remember sword emoji, bird emoji. That's the code to let us know that
I swear we used that one already.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But that was like half an hour ago.
Oh,
if people are like skipping
I was worried
to
it was
the
like
end.
a previous video.
Yeah.
Yeah, the sword emoji, bird emoji is like for the thing that we mentioned, like the real ones. No, you should drop it at the end for sure. And then, you know, if you're a full VOD watcher, you should use
VODers?
The full VODers in the chat. You guys should use, you know, the podcast ending code word and
That's good enough. That's good. That's good.
Oh, put a bug there. Put a bug and the format ending code word that we always use to end the podcast. You should put that in your comments, so that's how we know the real ones that were the full watchers.
Any final notes on the tier? I think it looks pretty good. Like independent
Guys,
of like.
I just realized we forgot Eosmon. The whole thing's a wipe. We should just start over.
I'm not.
I don't even want to look at you guys right now. Can we do the ban list instead? I'm really upset.
All right. Let's go do something else.
Gambo, I'm sorry for wasting your time. We brought you on as a guest and we forgot Eosmon.
This looks good. I'm probably happy to be proven wrong tomorrow by OCE and like Imperial super meta threat. It turns out it has the craziest matchup at everything.
They built their Lemon's well done upside down. They do.
But it's my fucking tier list.
Okay, now stop it now.
Dingoes.
Okay, we can
Dingoes ain't my Vmon.
Right.
It's getting less Australian.
My tier list.
Wait,
we
is
get to choose what goes on the tier
are
list.
OCE nuts in Australia or are they not?
Yes, yeah.
Okay, cool. I was gonna say I didn't know.
They're at Melbourne.